Welcome to Tuesday Night ICL, and we're back again with round two. Whew, exciting times, and we're gonna play that fun little game where you try to guess who it is based on their voice. You probably know who
Hello.
I am, but maybe you don't. Let's see if you can guess who Secret Caster number 2 is.
Ooh, I am your secret caster. That's me. I'm secret, and I'm a caster, and I'm a secret caster.
Ooh.
I'm all those things. Ooh, I'm curious if they guess who I am. I'm gonna feel so honored. It'll be good. They should know who you are. You're like, and if they don't know who you are and they're here, I thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
I'm surprised Color's chat hasn't. Oh, there we go. Like, cause she said in her chat who she was casting with. So,
Oh, okay, cool. Oh,
but
that was.
CMP did get that guess. One of your favorite Mai Tais.
Ooh, here we go. There we go. That's yeah. See. I knew that that sub club would help me out at some point. I am a Mai Tai. That is true. So you've got that down. Man,
I
love it.
I think we can show our faces. Yeah, I need to adjust your camera on this one though. I only adjusted the other one. Yeah, it
Uh-oh.
is. Oh, there you go. The zoom there works.
Eh,
I'm not doing
How's
it
that?
this time. That wasn't me.
It'll there you go. I'm zooming just little by little, just coming on in.
Oh, well,
Meet
maybe
me.
too
Meet me
much.
right here.
Wait, yeah, right. Look into my eyes.
Stare
Do
at
not
me.
play dogs.
Yes, please. Actually, I kind of like dogs, if I'm being completely honest. Dogs are pretty cool.
Yeah, I just think people are tired of it, but which is fair.
You know
We
what?
just had a new set. We want to see new
Yeah.
cards.
I mean, sure, that's true, and I'll tell you. So I was at a tournament this weekend, and what won that tournament was Amber Emerald, and it I guess technically was dogs. It plays Tramp, but it was running Pudge, Lilo, Stitch, all kinds. It was actually crazy, and it was running that Rockstar Stitch, and it went off multiple times on stream. It was so much fun. It was
Rockstar's so fun.
crazy. It is so much fun.
I
Yeah.
I've brewed so many Rockstar decks, and they all just like are so close, but it's not there yet.
No,
But
no. Yeah.
realistically, you don't want to play against Rockstar decks either. You
No.
like it's so weird. It's like, yeah, the game's fun and all, but like most of the things
Yeah.
that your opponent does to beat you doesn't feel good in any game you play.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, especially when they start going like Pudge for free, tap to draw, play Bobby, draw two. Like it's crazy, crazy town with that thing. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we've got two teams playing today. One is new. One is coming back for the third season in a row. The Inknights here, but the Mad Hatters.
Inknights.
This is their rookie season.
Ooh, okay. All right. Okay. So we got Inknights. I know them. They've beaten me plenty of times. So I mean, no bad blood there. A lot of respect for them. And then we got the Mad Hatters tonight. I'm excited to see them make. Well, I guess they made their debut last week, but they get their first stream debut. That's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. Ooh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and here in 1 second, I'm going to give the chat what they want. They say, "Where's Color at?" And you know what? She's right here, but I'm going to let her finish swallowing that food that she's eating right now before putting her on camera. They can't hear you yet. They can't hear you yet. I'm still waiting for you to finish.
Yeah. Suddenly you weren't vibing.
I figured I'd at least give you that heads up before throwing you on cam.
There you go. Very,
This
very
time.
cool. Oh my goodness. So we've got Inknights, we've got Mad Hatters in the chat. I'd love to know who you're rooting for. Let us know who you're rooting for. Tell us.
Well, I do have friends on, like, local friends on the Inknight, like multiple people. Their team manager is local to me. Bad Vegas is from Omaha. So, like, I definitely am a fan of the Inknights. The Mad Hatters, though, we've got some new players on there, and Meyer, as a bunch of people might know.
Yeah.
I'm
Is
sorry,
Meyer
Chad.
playing
I'd like
tonight
to
or
get her
no?
in, but she wants to eat dinner first. JDV
Yeah.
says mid bite. Let's go. Let's go. Nah, nah, nah. We gotta get breaks on.
That's
She just
messed up.
finished like a 4 or 5 hour stream. She needs to eat a little bit.
These chatters are they just savages? They're just like, yeah, just show her, just make sure she's eating all her food and get her mid bite. Crazy. These people are so crazy. You gotta
Chat
love it.
says you need to hydrate as well.
Oh, me? Where's my water? I got
Both
my
of you.
water right here.
Let's all hydrate at once.
All right, let's hydrate together.
Oh, Meyer's even from Omaha and Sydney as well. What a
Omaha,
wonderful place to come from, Nebraska. That is sarcasm. But
Nebraska.
anyways, I was part of a pay it forward chain, and I killed it. I killed that pay it forward chain.
You
But
stopped it? Wait, you
I
didn't
did
pay it
stop
forward?
it. I did not pay it forward.
What a
She was
animal.
like, "Oh, hold on, let me finish the story before you're just like you're a terrible person."
Okay, fine.
So she was like, "The person in front of you paid," and I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then she like quickly gives me my drink and shuts the thing. All right. And then like opens it up and like gives the food really quickly. All right. So I can tell that she does not want me to continue the pay it forward. And if you don't know this, most people who work fast food despise the pay it forward thing. When I was ordering my food, I like ordered it and I was going to order more and she like finished it and like told me the total and I was like, "Oh, I'm not done yet." And like she kept going. And I think it was because she had to wait for me to order my food before the person in front could pay. So it was like causing issues there. And then so I got that taken care of. Or like so I finished ordering my food, I go up there. And when she hands me that, I was like, "Well, I'd pay it forward, but I heard that the employees really don't like it." And she smiled and had the biggest, like the laugh where like you just literally caught her complaining about it to her coworker. And she's like, "Oh, you got me. You got me." And like, I was just like, "Yep, all right. I'm glad I killed it." Like, I'm sorry for the person behind me ordering 55 cheeseburgers, 55 milkshakes, 55 French fries,
Five fries.
and all of that. But like, yeah, I've worked in the industry enough and whatnot to just like, if it's going to be a hassle for the employees, I'm not going to want to do it.
Yeah.
But thanks for
yeah.
free dinner, stranger. Thank you.
Yeah, and you know what? They're actually a fan of Lorcana, and they actually follow you too. I bet you didn't know that. So they're actually in the chat right now. So there you go.
The person behind me or the person who paid for my food?
Both.
Both. Well, sorry, I'm a fatty and I eat at that Wendy's way more than I should. And so I'd much rather have the employees be happy with me than the person behind.
Yeah.
Nebraska's pretty small. Yes. Not anymore.
I was like, I'm mooded.
I mean, I
Muted.
heard you before, but yeah. Which is why I didn't think to unmute you.
Mhm.
What was I going to say? Oh, Nebraska is fairly small. I think Lincoln is like
wow.
250,000 or something. Omaha's maybe 500,000. And I think overall the state is maybe 1 million. I could be wrong there. Fact check me. Prove me wrong and put it in chat because we all know I don't know anything. I don't even know how to tie this tie. JD tied this for me this weekend. When I took it off,
And
I
you're
made
like, I
sure
can't
not to
ever-
get it
Nice.
untied. I'm like, this is going to be
Smart.
the tie that JD tied until, like, when it comes undone, I might just burn it. And be like, it has served its purpose. It is now off to a better life. But like,
Talk about fast fashion. Jeez, Luke.
well, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try my darndest not to let it get untied. You don't need to wash ties. Just don't spill stuff on it. It'll be fine. Or if it starts
I spill
smelling
stuff on
weird.
everything.
But
I was gonna say, I use mine as a borderline napkin sometimes. Like I have to wash.
well,
mine
I'll
every
try
time.
not to do that.
Crazy. That's
I'll try
crazy.
not to do that.
Is that I mean, I don't get to wear a tie. Maybe I should start
He's
wearing
like,
ties.
you know,
That
you need
actually
to
sounds
wash
like
your tie.
I
Yeah,
was like, yeah, I feel like I've used it as a nappy before. What?
it's a really inefficient bib, is what.
I'm gonna wear this tie for like bursts
it has to be a
of
bib.
30 minutes to
Especially
an
like
hour.
in the 80s with the skinny ties back in the 80s. It's like really, it was even worse probably
Oh, yeah.
back then because you're like, man, what purpose are you serving? Fashion is wild.
It's crazy. It's
Just wear
crazy.
bow ties. I think bow ties are cool.
They really are. Yeah, I think bow ties are the way to go. 100%.
I don't know about that. This was a double Windsor actually. Young man, everyone, like, why do I need to? This is like, you only need ties for jobs
go.
and weddings, and I don't have jobs. Not until recently.
We
Working?
kind of have jobs
Working?
and weddings.
Yeah, and I'd argue just for the job interview because once you got the job, who are you trying to impress? Take that tie off.
Yeah.
Go in there, you know.
I want my coworkers to like me, not just like despise me.
You really have to wear. I do hair. So anytime, in fact, I've recently had to do a bunch of different job interviews, and the thing is like I have to wear. It's so different because you have to go in and look trendy, right? You have to look cool. You have to look like you shop at a good place and like people would want to get their hair done by you. Like, and so in my normal day, I'm wearing like a t-shirt and like leggings and stuff. And so I actually had to go into these salons and like remember what it was like to dress cool. And then I come in and then like some of these places where I went in, they were just like wearing like crop tops. And I was like, okay, well, that's not professional. Am I like, should I have worn a crop top to this like, I don't know. So it depends on what field you're in, is basically all I was saying. Depends.
That's you're 100% right. Yeah. And like it's, you know what we need to normalize? We need to normalize asking the person doing the interview, hey, just walk, what am I wearing? Like, just let's
Is
be
it
real.
like business casual? Are we trying to like what are we,
Yeah.
you know, like I don't know. But yeah, because like going into the hair salon and like one of the girls, this is so I should probably keep my mouth shut. But they walked up to me and they were like, how can I help you? And I looked at her and then I looked at her tiny little tube top crop top and it said 90s baby. And then I looked at her face and I went, if you were born in the 90s, everything I've known in life is not true. Because if you were born in the 90s, what if no?
She was born in 99, right?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, no, she was born in the 1890s. Were you born in the 1890s? Okay, sorry, but yeah, the crop top was wild behavior for an actual interview. So, yeah.
Actually, here's an important question, right? So, like, what babies are you? Is it the era you grew up in or the era you were born in? Because like, if she grew up in the 90s, she like remembers like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff like that.
Depends on what part of the 90s, right?
I guess.
Like there's 90s shows that I vaguely remember because I was like 6 and 7.
That's what I'm saying. So weren't you technically a 2000s kid then?
Maybe
I mean, I was born in 85.
If you were born so you were an 80s baby, right? You were born in the 80s.
But I don't remember anything in the 80s. I was born in the 80s too. I don't remember anything from that time. I was a baby. And then like the 90s is when I remember stuff. Like I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you know?
But like I don't call myself an 80s baby because I have no memory of 80s television.
Well, that was Gabe's point, right?
Yeah. So I'm a 90s baby.
You were not a 90s baby. You were a 90s child and you got to experience the culture. But as far as a baby is concerned, you were a baby up until
I was an
like
80 baby, an 80s baby, an 80 baby that doesn't matter, just a little 80 baby.
Maybe baby.
A maybe baby.
Yeah.
I mean, so the only like 80s era cartoons and stuff that I have like any knowledge about is things that like my older brother, who's 7 years older than me, had on VHS or had like Nintendo and Sega games of.
Yeah.
So then I would be reintroduced to it. I mean,
but I think if you were a baby, maybe I'm just taking it literally, right? Like oh, I'm a 90s baby, so like culturally I grew up with all of these things. But like in my brain, I'm silly and I take things literally, and I'm like, no, you were a human baby in the 80s, and so you're an 80s baby, and you were a 90s child.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Fair.
I don't know.
Fair.
I think you're right. I actually am okay with that. I think if you're going to use the phrase baby, then you need to be literal. Like,
right.
I think it's fine. I'm okay with that.
Because like, you know, a 5-year-old, that's not a baby. That's a kid. We were watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and playing with like silly string, like what was it? The silly putty stuff. Like
I call people under the age of 25. I'm just like, oh, you're just a baby. So I think
that's derogatory. I was like, that's not nice.
I don't mean it in a mean way when I say it, though.
Yeah, he says that all cute and stuff, you know, and I think that's fine.
But the thing is like when I was 25, I absolutely had a quarter like life crisis. 100% lost and was like completely. And then when I turned 30, I was like, bro, this is fine.
I guess it's
sick.
mostly that
actually cool.
When I say I'm an 80s baby, people are like, oh, do you remember this show? And they're talking about He-Man or Transformers.
Okay.
And I'm like,
I did watch all that stuff though, but I didn't watch it in the 80s. I just watched it.
It stayed cool for a while. Like it was cool for a long time, you know?
And like, oh my gosh, then the new the remake now that they have, was it Kevin Smith did the He-Man? So good. So good. You need to watch it.
I gotta see it.
It's so good. It's like on Netflix. They have season like 1 and 2 and all-star like voice actors. It's great. It's good stuff.
I'm stoked for the movie too.
We've got about 5 minutes until the gameplay starts. So let's get those predictions. fresh blood out to make a name for themselves, or established, making top cut, possibly both seasons, veterans of the ICL? Gabe, I'm going to make you wait because Color has to give us a prediction before anything else.
I like Inknights logo because it's purple, so I'm gonna go with them.
Perfection. All right, Gabe. What are we
Wow.
going to go?
The bar is
Listen,
low.
I love a good underdog story. Someone coming in for the first time for their first season in the ICL. I've got to give it to what I perceive to be the underdogs, because the Inknights, let me tell you something.
Stacked.
They're scary. That's a stacked team. That's a scary team. Mad Hatters, I mean, they could be stacked, but we don't. They're just so unspoken for. We don't know. And I want to, and not only that, but like that, I love a good hat. Like I clearly need a hat. I don't wear them on stream because it's so rude. But like I love a good hat.
I wish that
Yeah,
type of hat
alright,
actually
alright.
looked good on me.
Top hats?
Yes.
On you or just
or in general,
'Cause you-
honestly.
I was gonna say,
I don't think
you
I've
could've
seen
added a
anyone wear a top
period.
hat and it looked
Yeah.
good if you're not Abraham Lincoln.
Like milady, and you're like, bruh, no, like it just doesn't work. You know? The dude at the skating rink in the 80s.
Illumineer.
Yeah,
Illumineer.
Yeah,
Illumineer.
he's also wearing a trench coat. Like, nah, you know what I mean? Hatter's gonna.
But
okay, like
for this couple last minutes here, I mean, my prediction is I'm going to root for my hometown heroes. I mean, I'm just going to have to do that. We're going to hope there's no cast or
Hoppers?
curse. And if there
Wait
is,
a
I
minute.
root for Mad Hatters. I don't know. Maybe not. I do like the players on each team, and I'm looking forward to some great games. But I'm going to pop it over to the table. We're not starting
Ooh.
exactly yet, but we want to be there for when the action starts.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Color,
Sorry, I
ahead.
just saw in chat, and Britt Strange but Special said, I see your gummy bears and raised you an episode of Popples, and my brain unlocked a memory that I forgot was even there. Like it just, I think I'm like dizzy. Essentially,
Z-mail. Email.
like
This
that's crazy. I remember they had like a thing. Maybe I don't know what grade I was in, but it was a bunch of stickers, and I remember they were little Popples, and I remember I wanted them so bad, but then like. Anyway, sorry. Thank you. That's all it took. You just like unlocked a portion of my brain that's just been, unused, which is quite a bit of it. But here we
I love
go.
it. I'm also just like, and it's not the only reference in the chat. Like the chat is going wild right now with this 80s talk. I'm loving it, and I'm loving seeing all the stuff, especially Fraggle Rock. That was my favorite. But
I do
speaking
love
of
that.
favorites, I mentioned Mad Hatters being my favorite here. Did we catch who's on the? I guess we don't know yet. We'll see who does the things first,
Is
and
it
maybe that'll
not
tell us.
as Royce
Well, I
and
mean,
Voodoo? But
yes.
we mean like, did we see the dice roll?
Yeah,
or
dice roll.
I don't know. The die roll. So
Okay.
we will see who rolled the dice. I see there is dice off to the side, so there's evidence of a rolling of die. And shout out to this cloth mat. I cannot. Are you a cloth mat gamer? I know PBG comes out with these beautiful cloth mats, but I cannot stand the touch of them. So I just kind of collect them at this point because they're beautiful and I love touching them, but not when I'm playing. I think it's
Yeah.
Whew.
So I'll tell you that for me, like what matters. So I used to feel the same way. Like the touch, like really freaked me out. But there's one move that you can pull on those cloth mats that you just cannot do with. Is it foam? Like what's the other mat made of? Like neoprene?
I don't know.
What is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Neoprene feels right. I don't know.
So like it's like that slide. Like you grab your hand and you just slide it across, and like every card is perfectly displayed. You can only do that
Yeah.
on a cloth mat. At least I can only do that on a cloth mat.
Depends on how scratchy the corner of your sleeves are, right? Sometimes you'd be
Yeah.
like, and you're like, oh god,
Oh.
yeah, yeah,
Yuck.
yeah. All right, we're doing even odds. So we got an odd. That is a 5. So who gets to go first? It's like one of the things like, do you want to let me go first?
Yeah, there
I
you
would
go.
love to go first. Do you remember in what was it, set 3, where they had green emerald steel, when they were like, you can go first, and you're like,
Yeah.
like you immediately knew. You were like,
Yeah.
sick. This is
Yes.
gonna be like this now.
We're in danger, and this is going to
Yep.
be very bad. And not only that, but I'll tell you that like during the best of 2 days, I think there was like two
Say, yeah.
camps. Yeah, that really cool camp that was like, nah, I want to surprise you.
Yeah, and it's
We
usually
love
that's
it.
what I'm saying. Is usually the green steel supporters. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Those emerald steel
Those
people.
monsters.
Yeah, or because this is with people with Merfolk in their deck, and then
Oh,
you're like,
terrible.
cool, sick, and then you'd go like Merfolk, and you're like, and they're like
Yeah.
Merfolk, and you're like,
That poor
We are
unfortunate
cursed.
soul.
Yeah. Actually cursed. But here we go. We have Voodoo. I'm gonna say I was gonna be Voodoo, and I guess Royce just ink and pass. Okay. Or no, we're altering? This is altering.
Yeah,
Man,
we're still.
I was trying to get way ahead of time. I'm like, game?
It's tough. It's tough on here to tell whether we're inking or whether we're doing a little bit of an alter phase here, and
Oh,
we
we're
are doing
keeping
the alter.
one.
Yo,
Oh, please don't be a blurple mirror. Please don't be a blurple mirror. I mean, I love blurple mirrors. I love
yay!
sapphire and amethyst mirrors where you ship every single one of your cards except for one and see if you got it like that. Are you I think in sapphire amethyst, are you a ship them all if you don't have ramp, or you keep at least one card?
If I have the ramp, you're saying?
If you don't have it, sorry.
Oh no, I gotta see all 7. I'm not gonna live in a world where I look at that top card afterwards and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, nah, it can't
So
be
you
me.
don't keep the develop either. You ship the develop.
I ship the develop. Yeah, if I see it,
I
if I
like
see
that.
it on my opening
I
hand,
know.
then I'll be grateful
I
for it.
know.
But I ship it.
I typically, I know. That's the thing is like, do you ship the develop because the develop will get you one card deeper, but actually just getting one card deeper. So I know that there's people that are way smarter than me that have done the math on that, on whether to shift the develop your brain or to give it back in the altar, giving yourself one more chance.
Yeah.
But also maybe royally messing up your curve and having nothing to do on turn 1, potentially turn 2 and on. But I think the point is the deck should give you what you want at that point. But
You would think so. You would think so.
oh,
But
God.
when it doesn't, it makes you so sad.
And Ruby Amethyst right out the bat. We didn't even have to guess as we see the Tinkerbell. Is this a fast flyer? No, just kidding. It's Tinker. They're all fast flyers to me, but this is a 3/1 Tinkerbell coming down on 1.
Oh, you love to
for
see
Ruby
it. So
Amethyst.
I will tell you, I'm excited to see it, and I think Voodoo's excitement level will depend on whether.
I love this Reckless Stitch into the inkwell,
Yes.
though, as a Daisy. All right, Daisy, Donald's date is here. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about the Ruby Amethyst matchup with this Emerald Amber strategy.
Well, generally, if you're playing Ruby Amethyst, it's because you're anticipating something like this. It's able to go fast. In some cases, if you're going first, you can even go faster than this deck if you need to. But what's even scarier than that is all the characters that can go fast can also just be really, really scary, and they can really hurt you. So if you brought this, it's because you expected the dogs, and he's being rewarded for it, I would think, as we see Christopher Robin in the Inkwell.
Yeah, Christopher Robin in the Inkwell and they played a Christopher Robin, which makes me feel like we did go second, so we would have been able to get that underdog ability, but we did opt to go for the Tinkerbell on turn 1 and the Christopher Robin on turn 2, ignoring the underdog ability, which does say if you are the second, if this is your first turn and you were going second, you get to play it, which, hey, we need things to get rid of that play draw disparity and make it a little bit better, but we're just going to go ahead and Daisy. So double Daisy, which I think that Ruby Amethyst might be the only deck that, okay, well, don't do it again. Don't do it
like,
again. Okay. Don't. I was like, okay, so as Pluto, I just say he's a good boy. He comes down. He's
such a good puppy.
Yeah, he makes things reduce cost by 1 if you exert him, though. So it's not as good as Grandmother Willow, which just says that static ability. But I think that Ruby Amethyst is probably one of the only decks that is able to deal with this double Daisy opener, as well as, okay, just kidding. This is Maleficent something guest, like something, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure she's the 0/4. Oh yeah. My gosh, she's the 0/4 that does she manipulate your discard?
That's a
bounce a
That's
card,
right. Yes.
Right.
It is, yeah. So it allows you to bounce a card with the cost of discarding a card. So this is essentially, I mean, the function of this here, I guess it's a 2-quester compared to something like a Tigger, the bouncing all the way, and it allows you to do it, I think, every time you quest. So it gives you the ability to do it multiple times instead of just the one time that Tigger when it comes into play.
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, it being a 0/4 in this situation is kind of great because we have a total of 2 strength on the board between our 3 characters over on Royce's side. And we know that Royce wants to be questing and not challenging, but this Maleficent is actually going to be able to kind of ruin our strategy, right? Anytime we're able to bounce something back to your hand and set you back on tempo is great. And we're not seeing Grandmother Willow, so we're not kind of getting things out for free yet. But the Della Moon Lullaby into the Inkwell as we do play our second Pluto, which is going to be able on our next turn, once it's dry, exert and give us a cost reduction as well. So this is Amber's ramp, I would say, to where they are able to, use more ink in a turn than what they have available. And that's gross as we tramp
Yuck. Although I will
Yeah.
say that's a cute puppy. We love Tramp and we love Lady, except the scary things that they do, like
Which
see a bunch of cards and then do things with those cards.
Yeah, so now we get to draw 4 cards off of the tramp, and then we get to take a tour of the best 4 cards and then discard 4 cards, which again, in these decks, you don't typically have a ton of draw power, but this is one of the most powerful draw powers in the deck, as we do go ahead and get rid of 2 Grandmother Willows, 1
Yo,
Pluto, and a Daisy, which now we know that Lady Park Avenue, if you shift her, she will be able to get every single one of those back. So discarding 1 drops and 2 drops do not matter in this deck. We don't care. We'll see them again.
yes, we will. Yes, we will. And so, we see that the Ruby Amethyst player here, Voodoo is, pacing, just taking some time here. And that's fine. It's Royce is in a very, I would say, ahead on the board state right now. We've got Voodoo about to play something here. And so I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think that they're still pretty even. You got to get an edge in at some point here.
Genie, Wish Fulfilled coming down, we'll be able to draw a card, which I think is really nice. Keep our hand full and healthy, but we are going to be able to quest with this Maleficent to discard a card and then bounce something. So bouncing something, just kidding. We're going to go for a quest with the Christopher Robin joining the fun. So he does have 2 lore on him. This Maleficent also has 2 lore, but we are going to have to discard a card to activate her ability to bounce something back to their hand. But it is nice because we were able to draw the extra card after the Genie. And we will go ahead and discard, not that card,
Nope,
maybe this
another
card.
one, something else. Maybe
Just
not
kidding.
that. Just
Nope.
kidding, JK.
We got to
Oh,
look at them all in the light a little bit. If you get them out of perspective of everything, I think it makes it. We're
oh,
going to discard a Genie.
yeah. I mean, there's reasons why you might want to do that, given that it can draw you a card. It might be the uninkability, could be a factor. It might be thinking, hey, how do I keep this game going? Is it going to be drawing a card? Is it going to be having an inkable? So there's choices to be made as we see selecting that Tinkerbell to deal with some problems there. As we see the board over on Royce's side get teeny tiny, much smaller than it was at the beginning of the turn.
Yeah, we did choose to bounce that Daisy Duck Donald's date right back into our hand. And then we used our Tinkerbell, like you said, to challenge in. And we got rid of the Pluto, which Pluto is a 0/1. So that's kind of perfect because our Tinkerbell's only a 3/1. So she is not really great at challenging multiple times unless your character has 0 strength, which Pluto does. So Tinkerbell got to challenge in with no consequences, as now we see 3 characters instead. But we do know, okay, a Rhino, interesting. Rhino coming down, shrinking down. Oh my gosh, that Tinkerbell. And if we under the sea here, that is
Oh
your whole
no,
board.
that is
That's
the whole
all
thing.
the potatoes. That's everything. No!
Oh no! Oh, we
Ooh,
landed.
Under the Sea coming down, sung by Tramp and Pluto for a total of 8 cost of singers. And that's your whole board.
Yeah, I gotta say that my favorite inclusion into the Amber Emerald decks is this Rhino. Like it's not a new card, but it's new to you, right? And it's new at least to this build. And seeing this, I think is a smart inclusion. Just the community at large working as we see another Daisy Ducks Donald's date hit the table. And Royce has got to be feeling pretty good about where he's sitting at right now with his current board state.
Yeah, we did get a Cheshire Cat. And I will say though, this list is very this Under the Sea with Rhino and Della's Moonella Blade and everything. That's the list that Sailor was running this weekend at the Ink CCQ, and he piloted to great success to a first place finish. I know that the deck was also built in conjunction with Kurt Spies and everything else like that. And they kind of built it to mirror the Ruby Sapphire control strategy of days, of future past, where we shrink things, we sisu things, we keep moving, we keep proving, we build up a board, and eventually you're just questing out with all your little guys. And one side board wipes turns out pretty good. So it's Amber, and it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, but it's actually not an aggro deck, it's a control deck. So good luck.
Although interestingly enough, there are ducks, Daisy Duck in fact.
As I said, it walks like a duck, it talks like a duck, but it ain't a duck. Or maybe the duck just brought a cannon to a knife fight. Anyway, it's fine.
As we see Elsa the Fifth Spirit deal with that little Rhino, but Rhino did the job it came to do. Rhino was there to deal with the Genie. It did that through song, a cappella singing of the Under the Sea. So that Elsa's coming in, and it may feel a little bit too late as we see Voodoo kind of just thumbing through the cards a little bit. Just you got to wonder how Voodoo's feeling right now. If I was Voodoo, I would not be too happy. As we see, is that a Rockstar Stitch that just hit the inkwell?
It is a Rockstar Stitch. So this is a little bit of a spicier variant, which we love to try to make Rockstar Stitch work, but we are going to exert Pluto for a subtraction of 1. Here we go. This is the card I was talking about. and then pay 4 to get that Lady Park Avenue, which means we'll be able to grab a 1 and 2 cost character out of our discard. And at this point, you could grab literally anything. You know,
You
I mean,
really can.
we have
You
the
really
Strum
can.
of the Willows in there. We have Daisy in there. We've got Rhino just in case you want to run it back with another just blah 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 blah. Again, it
All the
is
things.
it is a control deck, people. I'm trying to tell you, but our problem is
Yeah.
okay, we are gonna go Rhino and Daisy.
Okay, all right. So I guess we're anticipating or preparing for the potential of another Under the Sea coming up. You want to think about your outs if you want to deal with that. Now, my question is, I don't think we've seen one yet, but if Royce is using the rhinos and this feels like the Sailor build, are we going full Under the Sea, or do you think this is a
Yep.
4 Under the Sea? Is that the belief you're under?
Oh yeah. Yeah, because we haven't
Okay.
really seen Chromicon, and then and seeing the Delos Moon Lullaby, and also seeing the rhinos, and then the way that they're using them as we
Yeah.
bottom, they never come
Oh,
back with a Daisy trigger. So Daisy's not only given 1 date of the Olaf to hand, but not the 2. But yeah, I would assume that this is the Sailor build, because again, and it would actually be much better for Voodoo if it was the Chromicon build.
correct.
Actually, no, it's not. It's actually
No.
I was gonna say Ruby Amethyst has a terrible time with items.
Yeah.
Sorry. My mistake.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. I think it's interesting because we think about those kind of decisions that are made, and when we think about tournaments, like Sailor made the choice to play with 4 Under the Seas. I have to say, with as much of the potential hate that you would expect to see for items and things like Wasabi kind of coming into the conversation with decks like Blurple, it made perfect sense. It was the
Ooh,
right
cat.
call. Clearly worked out for Sailor as we see a cat hit the table.
Cheshire Cat Inexplicable coming in and being able to heal off the 2 damage from the Elsa after it challenged into the Daisy and some other things, and then being able to then move that to finish off the Daisy. We finally, after the point of 8 lore and 30 turns later, are able to get rid of 1 of the Daisies. We still need to deal with the Tramp, who is a powerful singer, this lady who is a powerful singer. So we've got some building to do. I think right there on that turn, we would have loved to see at this point maybe a Headless Horseman coming down next turn for Voodoo dude.
Oh yeah. Headless Horseman would go pretty big here. That's such a good card, especially into this matchup. So many 2 strength or less characters. Speaking of which, we see a Bobby entering the table here, and seeing. Let's see what we decide to get rid of on Royce's side here for the card in hand.
If he finds
Oof,
Under
what
the
is it?
Sea, we're gonna cry.
Oh yeah, and we discard a Rockstar Stitch.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, Rockstar Stitches. I think we do still have a Rhino in hand. I don't know. No, did we get rid of it again? Did
I did not.
we?
I didn't see it get
Because we,
inked, so
I
I
was gonna
want
say
I want to
we
say
pulled
still in
it.
hand.
Yeah, I was gonna say we pulled it from the lady. I'm not sure if we ended up moving that sideways or did we get it back? I don't know. That's the thing with these decks. Just kidding. Here's the Rhino. Just kidding. Here's the Under the Sea. I was
Royce heard you.
wondering. Yeah, Royce was
Royce
like,
heard
"Oh
you,
no."
color.
He's like, "That is a good idea. What if I just played this Rhino again and then played a Daisy Duck?" Okay, so removing 1 strength from the Cheshire Cat and then
Yeah,
being
and
able
just
to
deciding.
quest out.
Yeah, it's just saying, hey, you know what? I'll just go ahead and put as many characters down as possible. There's no better way to win this battle than through attrition, and so I'll just put more characters down than you can deal with, as we see in Isma
Also,
making its appearance.
that does empty our hand too, just in a case of a potential Demona that might come down this turn and give us the ability to start challenging things down. So then we'll quest out to 15, which is a
Wow.
respectable number, right? And now, if you do Demona, it's just going to refill. It's going to give us 3 cards in our hand, and as well as just kind of make Voodoo
Yeah.
cry. Crying
Yeah.
is a free action, people.
It is. Emotional trauma is not, however. That's very expensive, especially when you talk to a therapist about it. As we see, thinking about what's on the board, Royce has what equates to between, I want to say it's 11 points of lore. We've got 5 more to go to win this game on Royce's side. So Royce, of course, making the call to say, hey, we're going to push this game to its very, very limits. Voodoo having to think through whether or not we're going to scoop, go to game 2, or whether there is still a chance to at least delay this, maybe go 1 more turn and see if we can do something with it.
Yeah, this is looking a little rough. I mean, we can challenge in and do some damage moving stuff, or we can, yeah. So we are just going to go ahead and get rid of the Pluto.
Yeah.
Okay. See how many shenanigans that we can move around as we do play 2 to go ahead and play Illumineer, which gives everything +1 strength and a little bit better challenging power, which makes our Elsa
Yeah.
a 3/5, which is kind of substantial. It's pretty substantial.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, it bridges the gap. So of course, like the thing here that Royce is trying to do is he's trying to present too many threats that Voodoo can't do anything about. But that Lumiere bridging the gap, one more strength on 4 characters is kind of a big deal. It does fix the math a bit. And what else fixes the math is Cheshire Cat boosting. That fixes some math too, as we go ahead and knock that Bobby right off the table.
Yeah, and we are going to go ahead and challenge in with our Olaf, finishing off the tramp, which will then give us the ability to bounce something back to our hand. And I think maybe what we could do is we could bounce the Elsa back to hand or the cat and get the 2 cards and see what we have. Yeah, I like that.
Yep, certainly. As yes, effectively drawing 3 cards here. Not terrible, not a terrible thing to try to figure out if you can get some more answers here. But the thing is,
Oh, and
on
then
the
we
board,
just,
we still,
yeah.
we still have way too many points, too many pips of lore, and so
Yeah.
Royce taking game 1.
There we go. You have it. Dogs in an unbelievable fashion. Just kidding. We all knew it was good. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So, yeah, dogs doing dogs things. Oh, dogs doing dogs things. You guys can't bet on it now. Come on. You guys
I'm
can't take your guesses now. As dogs takes game 1 of round 1. I always get that mixed up, but here we go. Game 1
yes.
of round 1 of the ICL on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday. Now,
Yeah.
now it's some regions say it Tuesday, by the way, not Tuesday. I don't know if you've so if you're like from the South, you might say Tuesday.
Nobody says that. Tuesday?
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
the
okay,
people
all
from the
right,
South,
fine. It's like you said it, but you
Tuesday.
enunciated it, and it's always like nobody says that, and you had to slur it together, and I was like, no, I've heard people
Yeah.
say that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's frightening. And now that I've said it, you can never unhear it. I'm sorry, I've just ruined your life.
Well, no, like I have
I hope you're
family
okay with
members that
that.
talk like that, but like you were like Tuesday, and I'm like, but I had to say it quickly. I'm like, oh, last Tuesday is over, and I'm like, yeah, there
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Oh goodness, as a Voodoo, of course, I and thank you to all our players who play in the ICL. But Voodoo, I gotta say, your mat being tilted right now, like kind of off kilt, is really driving me crazy. So love you, bud, but my goodness, I think you're doing this on purpose. You're trying to drive Royce insane.
he's like, if I can't tilt you, then I'm gonna tilt my mat, and there we go. It's all tilted, but I mean, yeah, let's go on. We're gonna go game 2. So now Voodoo knows that he has the best deck to beat, right? Like Ruby Amethyst is what will beat dogs most of the time. So you just have to be able to get the cards in the order that you want them, and dogs has to just not do tramp things on turn 3, and that's really. And we didn't see any headless horsemen. We didn't see anything of that nature, which is like the really, really powerful cards into this matchup. So hopefully we are able to find those on curve and be able to fight back, because this matchup is typically horrible for dogs.
Yes.
And Ruby Amethyst can just oopsie their way into a win. So let's see if we can maybe alter a little bit less aggressively, and then we'll go ahead and ink a Maleficent and pass.
Which is not what you want to do into a Emerald Amber strategy here. You are wanting to make sure that you can keep up with the characters on board, as we see the decisive dog lady make her grand entrance onto this table and into this matchup. Voodoo, a little bit of a slower start here. We do see, with that turn 2 ink, being able to play Diablo. We love that Diablo. Great Diablo, 3/3, quest for 2. That's pretty strong into this matchup.
Absolutely. Yeah, this Diablo, especially with Lady being a 0/3, is going to be able to do a lot of work. And so, I mean, the problem with this dogs deck is though, like, they're not really turning sideways until bad things have happened to you. And so you kind of just want to. Now, the Mowgli's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, Mowgli come down and go ahead and look at our hand and see kind of the destruction.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Okay. So I was wanting maybe 1 horseman. But Voodoo said, what if I drew 3 horsemen and got bricked with them in my hand, to where my inking situations are going to be rough, because notably that Diablo is also very uninkable. But I will say it's a very interesting thing to do Mowgli on turn 2 here, because he's not typically going to hit anything in Ruby Amethyst, right? There's not a lot of
Yeah.
Ruby Amethyst hits, so Mowgli is quite a slow start being on the draw here.
It is. It is. I mean, it tells me that it might be the only option on 2. It tells me that he might want to just check the hand as well. I think that checking the hand is fine, and knowing how bad of a start your opponent has could tell you where you're going. But I mean, I would, if it was me, if I'm thinking why am I playing a Mowgli over anything else, I have to imagine that my options might be limited as well, especially in this particular matchup, because you're right. You're 100% right, Color. Like it's like what am I pulling out of your hand on turn 2? Like
Yeah.
if you're a Ruby Amethyst player, really. It's like,
Right, and that's why I think in Mowgli has not was not in like the sailor build and everything is like like what are you doing when you have time to play it? You're trying to achieve so many other goals in this deck that Mowgli fits in a really rough spot. But I mean, Roy's definitely checking Voodoo's hand and being like, hey, once this person gets to 5 ink, my day is ruined. Like
yeah,
if we keep
yeah,
getting ink off the top, it's gonna be bad times. And I know we just played that Maleficent. I think might have been a little bit greedy and probably inked her, especially since she's going to get Under the Seed into Oblivion soon. So I want to make sure that I don't wreck off the top of my deck personally, because I don't think that you're wanting to. I don't want to discard one of these horsemen to then bounce one of your things, right? I don't actually care. So I might have conserved her for ink just to be safe. And also, I live in this alternate reality where like I always draw uninkables. So but we
yeah,
see
yeah.
Stitch, reckless given Stitch, doorway Stitch. I'm gonna learn his name one
Doorway
day.
Stitch, I love it. That's
Yeah,
my new favorite sub
yeah,
name for a card.
yeah.
So Doorway Stitch, not to be confused with Mickey Mouse, Doorway Mickey Mouse or Doorway Pluto.
Mhm. Yeah. But Voodoo's saying, "Hey, I'm just gonna keep ripping ink off the top. Doesn't matter." Christopher Robin joining the fun, joining the inkwell as Yzma, conniving chemist, comes down, and that's gonna be really good for, basically. Oh no, we are gonna discuss. No, I promise you, you need it. You need it. All right. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
it's
it's
fair.
tough.
I guess that's fine. Because next
I
turn
mean,
you're
if
gonna
you
ink.
yeah. If you gotta pick one, you gotta pick one of the things you got 3 of probably. That might be the way to go, I think, as we see, Royce, that Stitch, of course, I think is an interesting choice because, we know that he's got the Rockstar Stitch. We know he inked 2 of them. Is it because that's the most expensive inkable he had, or does he have a third one that could have been really scary here? So, letting a Rockstar Stitch go off and just start drawing multiple cards is a problem, and Voodoo identifying that, making sure that doorway Stitch, as we've been calling it so lovingly, is no
Mhm.
longer in the doorway. Just
Yeah,
get out of
definitely.
my doorway and
I
off of
get
my welcome mat, dude.
hippity hoppity off my property, Stitch. And basically, yeah, I mean, again, I think I understand like playing the conniving chemist, you're getting cards out of your hand, you're being able to slow that down. What you said, like getting that up and off the board. I'm just greedy. I am so much of a sapphire, like top into my deck player that I'm like, I have turns 5, 6, and 7 planned out. And it's Horseman, his twin brother Horseman, and that other dude Horseman. We're also related.
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't know, maybe that's like greedy and that's how you lose the game. But I'm just like, like you just knowing I have that many horsemen in hand. As we do go ahead and replay that Stitch. Okay, that one
Yeah.
was really important to us. Like I think you said, maybe death gripping that strategy of Rockstar Stitch.
Yeah, I mean, Rockstar
Oh,
Stitch
we
can
are
equal a lot of
OP.
cards drawn, so it's hard not to be upset with it.
Okay, so that's interesting to me because even if we shifted Rockstar Stitch and then tried to sing Under the Sea, we used the Rhino. We just played down the Rhino.
Yeah.
So Rockstar Stitch is a 5, Mowgli's 6, 7, 8, 9. So we could have conserved the Rhino unless we have the shift right. What are we doing? What are we doing? I love when they do things that confuse me.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing too. It's like I feel so weird and confused, and I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it as we
Mhm.
turn 5 ink
What's it gonna
sideways.
be?
Can
What's
it
it
be?
gonna
Will we
be?
see? Yes, of course it is.
Horseman. He's gonna
What else you wanted to
strike.
be?
Yeah, we're getting rid of that lady because yeah, absolutely, I agree. Get that thing up and out of here. But you can't really hit the Stitch because I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure he's a
no,
3-1. He's a 3-1, correct?
great question. We'll find out shortly, I'm sure. It's difficult for me
Don't
to see that,
discard
but
the other one. Don't discard the other one. It's a genie.
it's
Apparently,
a
we don't care
genie.
about cards in hand because we have Yzma. So we go ahead and use the Maleficent's ability to then exert. Is it quest? That'd be kind of
It's
sick.
quest. It's whenever you, yeah, it's whenever you
Ooh.
quest. That is kind of wild.
That
That
is
is kind of
very
wild.
good. You are losing a
And
card, but you have
yeah,
Yzma to refill your hand. So this deck actually has some really good kind of push and pull with the synergy behind it. I like it.
it does. And I think Maleficent is such a good card to see here. It's underutilized. I love seeing cards that have been around for a bit but just don't get their time in the sun. Conversation, we'll ban this or ban that. It's like, well, hold on a second. Are we really considering all the options, or are we just wanting to play the same things and not do anything different and just want to ban? So I think it's
I
good to see
mean,
Maleficent do this kind
yep.
of stuff.
I have my own opinions about deck construction, but I also have never been close to winning a DLC. So I try to be chill. I try to be real chill. But I'm
I
like,
feel like because you haven't been close, and which nor have I. I feel like we both are better suited to give these answers because I feel like those answers are like biased. I feel like you and I can probably give Ravensburger some good pointers here.
oh yeah, like I've never been close to winning meta things, but
Yeah.
we see Grandmother Willow, Ancient Advisor come down. It took me like weeks to learn her name. Where I was like, is she an ancient tree or ancient whatever? But I also have one of those. Oh, my green screen killed it. One of the
It looked really cool
epics.
though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do not
That
perceive me, Grandmother Willow. But yes, Ancient Advisor coming down, which will be able to reduce more costs. So I think Royce is really, really having a hard time with this Maleficent, kind of like what you were saying, to make sure that she's just really messing up our board. And we keep replaying things and kind of trying to reduce cost and replaying things. And bouncing is very powerful. It's just setting you back over and over again as, hey, the second
oh
Headless Horseman, the twin brother, Terror of Sleepy Hollow comes down and just goes ahead and pops now what I do believe to be a 2-1 stitch in the doorway.
yes, it is. In fact, that
Yeah.
doorway has been slammed shut
Yeah.
very hard in Stitch's
Okay,
poor face.
We're just gonna.
Yeah, there's for sure. I mean, we were 12 in and way more than enough on board. Let's go ahead and let's go to game 3. And so, I mean, these are the first 2 games that we just saw played pretty quick. I mean, we are still with less than halfway of the time passed. We've got 35 minutes left on the clock roundabout. So pretty good timing here. They got plenty of time to play a lot of this game, and our little puppies here are about to go first, which presents its own set of issues for Voodoo. But can this deck that was constructed in a way to, it feels like almost very specifically deal with this,
They said
can it
no
overcome that
dogs will be let
problem?
out. None.
No, absolutely
We will
not.
not let any of these dogs out. And if you do let them out, you're going to meet my friends, the Headless of Horsemen. So, yeah, and it does, like, again, I hate to say this, but it's not a 0% matchup, right? We've seen dogs beat Ruby Amethyst, and I think that in a lot of situations you have to be exactly Sailor to beat, because this matchup is so incredibly bad for dogs. Like, and the thing is good, because there are not a lot of bad matchups for this deck. This deck is a actual powerhouse. And again, when piloted to complete proficiency and you don't draw, unfortunately, like how Royce drew, you can beat whatever you want to beat with this deck because it does such powerful things. But as Ruby Amethyst, you can oopsie your way into a win. This matchup is so incredibly bad. And that just shows you how powerful Brawl on a body, being able to banish a character with 2 strength or less, how important that card is to our meta.
Yeah, you're not kidding. You're not kidding about that. And you got to start to wonder, because everyone's wanting to know, hey, so what can beat the big bad? And it looks like the puppies are the big bad, this said. And so, if Ruby Amethyst is an answer to this, we got to start to think about, well, how does Ruby Amethyst do into things like Blurple? How does it do into things like Amethyst Steel? Yeah, I know.
Oh, sorry, wasn't rhetorical? My bad. I was like, but then that's the thing.
Wrong.
That's the thing, right? It's like Ruby. I don't know. I'm not a game designer. Ruby's good for our game, and it being so underrepresented lets things like this run all over us.
Yeah, and you have to wonder what else can we do? What other tech can we include to deal with the dogs? Because I will say that, if dogs is the best deck in the format, and I think most people at this point can't, it's very difficult to argue that it's not. What can we do to even the playing field, or do we even want to even the playing field? Do we just want to have puppies all everywhere? Because puppies are kind of cute.
Want to or we could just, if you see a Daisy or a dog on turn 1, you just eat their card. Really big proponent of just eating your opponent's card.
That's always a valid strategy. Just eat the card. I love it.
Yeah. I don't recommend that for health reasons, but But then you
I
could
think
call a judge for an illegal deck.
yeah.
And
I
as
mean, if
a
you really think about
Mowgli goes into the
oh, there you go.
table, yeah.
If
And
you
we
think about all the
do
microplastics we eat, then I think that one cardboard card is not that bad. You know.
probably fine. Grandmother Willow, Ancient Trees coming in on turn 2 and able to reduce the next card by 1. So if you have a 1-drop, it's powerful. But if you don't have a 1-drop, it's still powerful. It's just not
It is.
busted, bananas broken. But Sail's also a broken card. So we ink the Christopher Robin joining the fun and
Oh yeah, this is okay. So we have choices indicated by the card flip, and we choose Diablo, just continuing to present cards that can deal with the characters on Royce's side, forcing Royce into some awkward positions, saying, "Okay, well maybe I can't get a free quest here. I'm gonna have to deal with these characters. I'm gonna have to figure out how do I get out of this before I can start questing freely." You know, we talked about the fact that this is not just an aggro deck. We don't just turn sideways. We have to be very smart. We have to choose the right moments, and a deck like Ruby Amethyst and the way Voodoo has it constructed really forces Royce to think about that. And I think it's smart decisions here to bring this to ICL on a Tuesday night.
ICL on a Tuesdays. We ink the Della's Moon Lullaby and are trying to figure out. Hopefully, we can get the. I mean, we're definitely going to get the value off of Grandmother Willow, right? So we will get the reduction. The next card that you play cost 1 less, so that is a Grandmother Willow. So she will let herself come on in and cost 1 less. So now we still have another Grandmother Willow reduction cost. But if we don't have anything, oh, we're cooked. Okay, all right, it's fine.
Yeah.
I hate that when you have all the ramp and no cards to play.
Oh my goodness, yes. We see another Christopher Robin hit the table as Ink to play another Tinkerbell and a Lumiere this time, just creating. So now those characters that had 3 strength, well, now they can deal with the Daisy Duck all by their lonesomes, and Royce has got to be feeling some kind of way about that.
Yeah, definitely. That Lumiere coming in, giving +1 strength to all of their characters as a fiery friend should do. But now we're feeling safe enough to turn those sideways because, again, even if you were to play a tramp and buff up your Daisy, you can't freely challenge in anyway. You're gonna lose. You'll lose your Daisy too because Lumiere is, like I said, he's a fiery friend. But also too, what Voodoo has done has made his board not as under the seeable. I don't know. I keep trying to turn that into a verb and it doesn't work. But the only thing that will get under the seat at this point, without assistance from the Della's Moon Lullaby that does reduce the strength by 2 and draw a card, bonkers card, or the Rhino reducing by 1, is the Lumiere. So you're gonna sing an ACOS song to get rid of a little old candle.
Yeah, certainly, and you're right. Like I think that the Lumiere's effect on that Under the Sea is probably the biggest benefit right now. You know, just being able to avoid that, especially that we know that Royce is running that Rhino. We know Royce is running that Delamoon's Lullaby. All of those things makes it so easy to deal with something like Amethyst. You know, Amethyst that loves to play, characters with slightly less strength, but they have a lot more utility. So Royce has got to be feeling just not fantastic as he interestingly points at his mat and starts doing some kind of math that I
Yeah, we're
can't
doing
quite
the
figure out.
math. I was gonna say because we could tramp this turn, right? Because we have the reduction from the Grandmother Willow, we have the 3 ink,
Correct.
we could safely tramp, and we actually have enough cards in hand to be able to keep whatever we need, setting up for the Under the Sea next turn. Because of course we could sing it with tramp and one other thing. And we're only on 3 inks, so it's not like you can horseman this early and get rid of it before I can sing. But again, what we're saying, you're really only getting rid of the Lumiere, even if you have like everything. And we do just go ahead and power snatch all that sideways and play a Stitch Rockstar from the
Yeah, there you
top
go.
rope. All right. Okay.
That the game is afoot. So what this means is that moving forward, whenever Royce plays a 2-cost character, the choice can be made to exert that character to be able to draw a card. And with 2 Grandmother Willows on the table and a Rockstar Stitch on the table, there is some wild stuff that is likely to happen here. I saw this pop off over the weekend. I was at a tournament and I got to see a Rockstar Stitch variant of this deck that used Pudge and Lilo. And boy, oh boy, did it blow my mind. It was crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. As we do kind of notice what you've done with the Rockstar Stitch, we can't really deal with that because shout out Medusa, not in our format. That's Infinity. Love that. As we play at Yzma, Conniving Chemist, we'll be able to refill our hand next turn and get us 3 cards closer. Potentially, if we can ink play a card, then use Yzma's ability. Or if we just have this Rockstar Stitch start doing crazy things this turn. So, yes, like you said, we'll be able to reduce cost, of the next character by 2, because you know you have to be able to do that with the grandmother willows. But that means you could just like play some stuff, draw some cards, play some stuff, draw
Yep.
some cards, play some stuff, draw some cards. And it's so long as you're not whiffing on 1 and 2 drops, you're just refilling your hand. But Voodoo has a very, very wide board. Notably,
Yes.
the Tinkerbells will only survive through maybe potentially 1 challenge, unless you're exerting like those zero cost ladies. That'll be a free challenge in. So there's a lot. This is a very, very important turn. Like how you utilize Stitch Rockstar going forward is what is going to make or break this game.
Absolutely, you said it. You said it perfectly, Color. I think that the utility here is going to be what determines whether or not Royce gets out from underneath just like the control and the rule of this of this board that Voodoo has set up. I mean, ahead on the lore pressure, ahead with the board pressure as well. As Royce is kind of thinking through, okay, what does this need to look like in order for me to get out of here and figure out this game? Because I think one of the most interesting things about the ICL is oftentimes we think about the deck choices, but as important as the deck choice is, as we see a challenge coming in from the Daisy Duck opting to deal with the board to remove the Tinkerbell, one of the decisions that people don't really think about is in a format like this, where it depends on where you're placed and which deck is going in what order. This is a big part of that game. This is like the game before the game is okay. In what order do we put stuff?
What is in Royce's hand that you would challenge with the grandmother willow
Oh
first and not get a cost
no.
reduction? No.
That's terrible. That
Well,
is absolutely terrible. That this tells me that there's just not.
oh.
Oh, because we want to get full value from the lady. That's why we did that.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I was like, I don't understand. I don't
Yeah.
understand. As we do go for the full value lady, doing the math from the deduction of the grandmother willow to be able to ink that lady and maybe play back the daisy, or we're just gonna pass.
Now, if we do decide to play another character, we do
We
have
can
the
draw a
option to,
card.
to draw a card. Roy's having to make that choice and opting to do it. Yeah, so we're gonna see it. A Rockstar Stitch activation. The crowd goes wild as we draw one card.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, notably, getting rid of those Tinkerbells, I think, was huge here. That was actually a phenomenal play. Trying to realize that those the just 4-1 strength on the board there, getting those out of there, being able to buy them back with the lady, and then putting down the daisy just to be able to draw
Hmm.
a card and refill our hand. Now, the Diablo will be able to trade into it, and then you'll be able to do cat shenanigans. But you're also probably staring down the barrel of an Elsa Fifth Spirit coming down on this 5 ink turn for Voodoo.
For sure, and I mean, and at this point, I think you got to play the game, whether that be the case or not. Because Voodoo at 5 has a lot of scary stuff. We've got Horsemen, we've got Elsas. Five is a very frightening number when you're facing against Ruby Amethyst. So Voodoo, show us the scary thing. Having your name be Voodooed is pretty cool. But what kind of scary magic do you have hiding in
Cat.
your hand? As we see a
Oh.
Maleficent and
Oh.
another Tinkerbell hit the table. Not kind of an
Okay,
average set of
okay.
cards, but cards are cards, and board presence is board presence here, as we see an Yzma drawing 3 cards for Voodoo.
Yeah, going ahead and activating the ability, getting those cards, putting it
Yo,
down. Okay, so now we have a critical mass of cards down. We did opt to ink the Demona and to be able to refill our hand with that Yzma trigger, but at the same time, we put down the Maleficent, which we know can be a problem. We put down another Tinkerbell and an Olaf, which is going to be able to then bounce something back to our hand if we so choose. And then that Diablo still being buffed by the Lumiere is just kidding. Gonna go get some 2 lore because now we're winning this race.
yeah. I mean, if you're winning the race, there's no reason to stop yourself from winning. You may as well just go ahead and do this. And Voodoo is doing the thing that I think Ruby Amethyst does better in this matchup, which is it can be the faster racer. Which
Crazy.
Amber Emerald does not like that. That the whole point of why you play Amber Emerald is because even though it is technically an aggro, not really an aggro, but kind of, but not really a control aggro deck,
Yeah.
it collects lore faster than any aggro deck out there. And Ruby Amethyst says, "Well, I'm just a little bit faster, and I'm scarier because I got things like the Headless Horseman."
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and again, like this is another thing. So you turn the sodaways, and we are going to play the 1-cost lady for free. We're going to exert it for the
Yep.
Stitch Rockstar ability to draw a card. Now, this is where things can absolutely get out of hand because we can just start playing things for free, exerting things, and kind of going from there. So we did use we already used the one Grandmother Willow's ability. We played another Grandmother Willow, and then we played the lady to play another Grandmother Willow. So
Yes,
then we can just exert that and then draw a card.
it's
And then if we
crazy.
get a one drop, then we can play it for free. And then eventually we're gonna have to start using our ink. But at this point, hey, let's play the who can go wider game as the Daisy
Oh,
Duck comes down.
free Daisy because of that Willow, and we get to
Absolutely.
draw, and the crowd goes wild, continuing to chant for Rockstar Stitch. Let's go Stitch. Let's go Stitch. Do we have any more characters? Can we draw some more cards? We pay one more to play another one cost character. It's a Stitch. Are we going to do it again? Of course we are. Why wouldn't we? Let's draw another card. We'd be crazy not to.
Absolutely. And yeah, if we get another one cost, we can literally just play the one cost. And it's like, you went wide, I went wide. Now, what's going to be so painful is when this horseman comes from the top rope and then our whole board is actually gone as the Amber champion. Something that would have really helped us in this matchup, giving 2 extra willpower to all of our Amber characters. Just kidding. Let's see. Let's
Oh,
see what our demise is. Oh, okay. So you have a Dumbo and
and a
a
Maleficent.
oof. Now we can go ahead and play those and ink one and then hopefully draw and be able to trigger that Yzma to refill our hand and give us a few more shots
Yeah.
at the horseman, but or
Yeah.
the demoter or anything. But at this point, we
Notably,
got a battle. We got a
we
battle
have to.
coming on.
Yeah. We have to because the Voodoo has exactly the right number of characters on the table with lore to win this game next turn. So Royce needs to be able to. There's 11 lore pips
Yep.
on the side of the board. So Royce has to at least take care of one thing. But the problem here is it too little too late? I want to say it might be too little too late here. That's my general vibes is that it's a little too late. But I think Royce can potentially play this board in such a way where he might be able to buy himself enough time, not have his side of the board just be completely blown out and figure out if we can win this game and take this first round of ICL on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think you have to just go ahead and bite the bullet and take out that Yzma. She is sideways and she is causing problems. I cannot. You've got some like meh cards in your hand, right? So like, let's take away your ability to go get better cards, as we are going to go in challenge and hit the.
Oh, I may be
Dun,
wrong.
dun,
Those
dun.
Tinkerballs might be. Are those Tinkerballs in the discard pile or are those exerted? No, I'm
Those are
sorry.
no, yeah, those are
Oh, so I was giving Voodoo
super
way too much lore. That's my fault. Yeah,
too much lore.
I was giving too much credit to Voodoo. So Royce is still can still. Oh, it's under the
Oh,
sea.
but that only hits the Maleficent and it hits the Illumiere, but that does actually make a big difference. I wonder
Yes.
why we didn't potentially do that the other way around so our Stitch would have one less damage on it, but it's fine. It's fine.
As we see 3 characters over on Voodoo side. Is this enough? Is this the return to form that Royce
Oof.
needed in order to win this game? We are about to find out.
Yeah, basically, we have 3 characters to your like metric ton 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 characters, and we were feeling a little bit better. So hopefully, we drew a better card than say the Maleficent or the Dumbo that we were holding. But if we didn't draw our horseman or anything else like that, and the way that the ink is separated, it's making me feel like we didn't get what we wanted.
Yeah, the separation of the ink is a clear sign. It's like a ritual dance that says no.
I ain't
As
got
we
it.
ink the Dumbo, we know that
Okay,
Maleficent
okay,
costs 3.
okay,
Oh,
okay. Oh, we get a
oh,
Demono Scourge of the
okay,
Wyvern Clan off the top. So that does exert everything that is literally already exerted, but we are going to be able to
okay.
potentially. They never came back as an action. We're all out of that. So, I mean, Royce is at 0. Let's keep this in mind.
Yes, yes.
Royce is actually at 0. And a funny thing here is maybe if we like crash into something, we could Diablo and maybe pick our Demona back up for whatever reason. That
I
seems
mean
kind of funny. Are we
that
doing
that
the funny thing or are we doing the good thing?
Yeah, I think we want to do the good thing here if possible because I think Royce is at a point now where if my math serves me right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We got 14 lore on the board now that we've removed that decisive dog. There's 14 lore on the board for Royce. If we were to just go completely sideways next turn, just go on a full out quest, as we see the Diablo coming in and saying, you know
For
what, you
quest.
you deal with my Diablo. You don't have game on the board yet. I'm gonna make you work a little bit to get to take care of this character because I need to advance my clock because I win this game by going to 20, not just by slowing you down.
You have to take that rock star as we see the Olaf challenging into the only logical target on the board, which would be the Rockstar Stitch.
Yes, please.
Get
That's
it out of
so much
here.
value. So much value we've gotten off that thing. It's been crazy.
Yeah, definitely, that's what I'm doing. I'm throwing that into that Rockstar every single day. Now, whether I'm bouncing back my Demona, I don't know. Probably not. That seems a little bit greedy. I kind of want to keep the board presence at this point. It's the Rockstar Stitch. Okay, thank you. I was like, there's
Yeah,
no world.
you're like
I
summoning.
was
You're
like,
like you will
you
attack the
have
Rockstar
to.
Stitch.
Yeah, challenge into the Rockstar Stitch. And if you don't, I will allow you to take it back. But so we did do that, opting to miss the trigger on the Olaf. I think I agree with that. I like the
Yeah, I do too.
I like keeping the board presence for this, especially with how wide they are, because now the card draw engine is gone. Yes, they will be able to jump up in lore, but only 1, 2, 3 of those things. Okay, 4 of those things. Well, 4 of those things have 2 lore on them, which is pretty substantial. But again, Royce is at 0 and Voodooed is at 11.
Yeah, yeah, and 11 is a lot closer to 20 than 0. That's how math
Closer?
works.
That
I don't
isn't
know if
how
you knew
math
that.
works.
I don't know if you knew
Numbers
that,
work like
color.
that.
Numbers, in fact, work that way.
I am pretty bad with numbers, so thank you for the.
Oh, but goodness gracious! So Royce is going to have to figure out, what do we do here? Can we, we've lost our draw engine in that Rockstar Stitch. We can go on a full-on quest, but that's going to expose more of our characters to being challenged and reducing that board even more. And
Ooh.
we also know that there's some scary things that can happen depending on what Voodoo drew.
That Stitch that is on the board, though, it does give Reckless when it is exerted. So if it actually wanted to, you could go ahead and give Reckless to the Demona or give it to, I don't know, literally either one of those little 2 questers. I don't think it matters. At this point, it's not what you want to do, but I think I really would want to maybe just take my lady and throw it. Just kidding. We're going to shift the Rockstar Stitch onto that one. I think I might have given something Reckless first, but you know what? Who knows? But yeah, so we are going to be able to do more shenanigans. That's like
Yeah,
a ton of lore.
it is.
As the tramp comes down, is actually going to be able to buff the Mowgli, probably taking down the Diablo, getting that
Yeah.
right on out of the way. We could even take the lady into the Tinkerbell, getting that out of the way. So
Yeah, I think that this tramp is
hold
big,
up.
interesting. We opted not to. Oh wait, no, just kidding. We are going to go ahead and turn that tramp sideways and draw a card. I thought maybe we either forgot or chose not to, but Royce did not forget and is absolutely choosing to do it, seeing another card. So getting more value. This Rockstar Stitch has been kind of a big deal in this particular game.
Kind of a big deal.
It kind of a big deal as we see a tramp
Okay,
enter the
okay.
field.
Yes, tramp going in, and now we're going to be able to draw just more cards than you should be allowed to draw. And we actually have 2 cards in hand, which means we will get to keep 2 cards in hand. Now, notably, Under the
Yes.
Sea is not great here, but drawing more tramps would be phenomenal because just like free tramps thrown on the board, even though you're at 11, basically, like we were saying, we could take that Daisy that we buffed up with the tramp's ability, who is now approximately, I don't know, a 37-4, throw that into the Diablo, throw in Mowgli into the, or even if we want to keep it around, we could throw our lady into the Tinkerbell, and you get
Yep.
rid of, and then you just you're just left with a single Demona as the Under the Seas go into the discard off of the
They
tramp
do.
trigger because they're not doing much of anything for us at this moment in time.
Yeah, and I want to note here, by the way, that Rockstar shift was 1. That cost 1 because of the 3 grandmother
Ew.
willows that were that were on the table. So something. Here's a strategy for y'all.
Ugh.
I want to advocate for my friend Scrump. A Scrump right now would go absolutely insane with an Under the Sea.
Oh man. And notably, Tramp does come down for a reduced cost. It is a 2-cost character, but if you have a lady in play, it is reduced to 1. So we played 1 for Shift's Rockstar Stitch and 1 for the Tramp on the board, leaving us basically our entire Inkwell at our disposal as we go ahead and throw in a bunch of characters that
So
you
many.
could get back with Lady if you so choose, if that's how you want to do this. But we are going to play a Bobby Zemaruski down to be able to draw a card and then discard a card because we're still digging for something.
We
I don't know
are.
what, but we're digging for it. But we can also
And
trigger
yes.
Rockstar Stitch first, draw a card, discard a card, Or no, we get to draw the card, and then we get to draw discard for Bobby.
It's so good. This is exactly what I saw over the weekend. So that Bobby, so big, you draw 2, you discard 1 for the Bobby. Every one of these cards that are coming down, just continuing to collect more. I really think that Rockstar Stitch is the wave of the future for dogs, as if dogs needed any more help than it already got to win a CCQ.
Discarding the lady, opting to say, I don't actually care what's in my discard. Maybe you just have another lady, and we are going to ink a tramp. Okay, okay. And
so
then
we
we're
actually
going to
have
just
more
go
ink.
ahead and full play a
Mickey
Mickey
Mouse.
Mouse Amber Champion coming
Oh,
down.
oh no! All
Oh,
those Amber characters have +2 health, or willpower rather.
yeah,
That means
so
that Rockstar Stitch is an 8 willpower character right
yeah,
now.
Daisy's just a casual 1/6, and now Grandmother Willow, Grandmother Willow. Oh my gosh, it's just 13 lore sitting on the board as we can just go ahead and bop that down. And guess what?
It
Mowgli makes it through the
survives. It
challenge.
survives the challenge. Oh, this is stupid. This
Oh,
is crazy.
oh my goodness. And then we throw the Daisy in, and it doesn't matter. She only took 3 back, but she's a 1/6, so she could take 3 more pops of damage as we go ahead and quest out here. We
You
do
would
get some
need
Daisy triggers, but
you would need all of Demona to deal with a Daisy Duck right now. You would need every bit of Demona. This is
Christopher Robin ain't gonna do it. He's joining the fun of not being able to help you win this game. Oh no.
oh my goodness, Royce turning this
Vastly
thing
played.
around, just lapping Voodooed about to lap Voodooed on the score. Voodooed having the control for so long, and just a series of well-timed, well-placed Rockstar Stitches, and just the greatest collection of an audience that Rockstar Stitch could get as he was performing for that beautiful crowd. It just completely turned this around.
Oh,
Crazy.
I mean, with 3 Grandmother Willows on the board and then the Rockstar Stitch, this is disgusting. Like, free is good. I don't know if you guys have known that, but free is broken, busted. And then the Amber Champion, just to keep our things around after we are like Amber Emerald doesn't want a challenge, but hey, if it does, let's just give it 2 extra willpower. So it does have that kind of Rapunzel's Tower effect on a body that, by the way, when you have 2 or more Amber characters in play, he's a singer 8. So
Oh, I
my
completely forgot about
man
that.
can
I forgot about
sing
that.
Under the Sea alone to
I
the
forgot about
tune
that.
of By Myself. So, like, again,
Oh,
the only thing he doesn't do is quest for 2. He just quests for 1, and I guess that's fine. Like, he's
oh
fine.
no, he's got to be fair, right? That'd be too messed up.
Right, yeah.
Get out of here. That's
They
crazy.
never come back. Oh my goodness. So this does say that basically you're going to be able to keep these 2 characters exerted, which is the Rockstar Stitch and the Lady Park Avenue. They will not be able to ready at the end of your turn. But now the Demona doesn't actually banish either one of those characters.
No.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't. Yeah. So Demona is staring at these 2 characters that are just going to have to hang out a bit. So Demona's going to have to be used for something else. But even then, if you look at what's currently on Royce's side of the board, he just needs 10 to win this game. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Without counting Rockstar Stitch, without counting the lady that will not be allowed to exert. And yeah, of course you do.
I think we're just like,
you have to. You have to.
Bruh, like, yeah, that was an insane board state. And you're like, bro, I think that this deck was built to go underdogs. I think that this deck was built to battle low to the ground. And I think that we drew the wrong cards at the wrong time. Again, game 2, we saw 3 Headless Horsemen, which is, hey, if you need 3 Headless Horsemen in a row to beat this deck, then this deck needs to be spanned. But congratulations, taking it in game 3. Royce, our round 1 winner of the ICL on a Tuesday. No slouch to V-Dude. Nice job, nice play. But man, that's too much value. Free is good. Free is good. Free is too good.
Much value. I mean, the MVP of that matchup, without a doubt, Rockstar Stitch. I mean, we only saw it in game 3. The other 2 games, it was primarily just inked. In those first 2 games, but dogs do dog things, and the Rockstar Stitch adding additional value on that game 3 where he absolutely needed it, because I'm convinced that without that Rockstar Stitch, Royce would have lost that game.
That was a whole engine. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, was well on his way to losing that game and was able to turn it around. Good job, Royce. Congratulations on your victory. Well deserved. And Voodoo, great valiant effort, but my goodness,
Voodoo was just drawing those Maleficents, and it was like, no, 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 no. I don't need you. I need Elsa. I need Demona. I need the Horseman. I need the cards that make me an actual menace against this deck. And his deck was like, may I interest you in a Christopher Robin?
You looked like you needed a little kid with
Yeah.
an underdog of all
Yeah,
kinds.
he'd like to join the fun of helping you lose the game. So yeah, that it was like no, yeah, I was like not. I'm not wanting to take anything from either player, but those are just a couple things that I noticed where I was like, oh. But again, hey, any meta that Rockstar Stitch can shine in, I think is fine. Although it's like Dogs is probably so good that you could put like any card in it in this point, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
the deck's still good.
Yep.
The deck's still just good.
Yeah, you got to put cards in it that evens the playing field. Like you got to play purposely bad cards. I think if you got to handicap it now at this point.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Take Tramp out of it. We've
Yeah,
seen it. The card's good. Can't. It's already won a DLC. It doesn't work for the rules anymore. You can't do it. I'm just kidding.
Yep.
That's not how it works here. But,
That'd be kind of wild. Like
Yeah.
if cards were like no longer to be played at events that they win. That'd be so
So
crazy.
I was to say that's actually what JDZ and I have been doing on our like Masters of Disaster thing. Is that we've been building infinity decks to where if it's won a DLC or if it's won a CCQ, you're not allowed to put the card in your deck.
I love it. I love every bit of that. That is so good.
And did
So
you know?
So there's no TPO.
No TPO, no sale. But did you know that if an Amethyst card draws a card, it's won something really big? So the only thing that's and if like the 2-drop ramp, if anything is left, there's not a lot of cards left in that have not, like Amethyst and Ramp have not won anything. So you get stuck with like, I don't know, Rescue Rangers Submarine.
That'd be pretty sick. I'd be
Yeah.
so into watching that match. I'll put that on stream. Let me watch that.
The games are fun.
Man.
The games are fun.
Holy smokes.
But yeah, yeah, it's definitely a wild for a format. But I will say that is kind of competitive is rough, right? So you have to like you have to really there is such a narrow place for deck building in this like deeply competitive meta. And I think that these lists all have like, we haven't figured it out. I mean, like, right, what are we like on week 2 of the meta at this point? And we're still trying to figure it out. But
ooh. And we are jumping into another game currently in progress. We're in game 3, it looks like, with Trip Allen of Nashcana at 9 lore and Quest with Cole from Luxury Gaming at 8. As we see Trip Allen, I think about to win this game actually.
I know. Is that a Lonely Grave? Yo, well, hold up, wait a minute. It's a Lonely Grave, and he just played a Wreck-It Ralph, and he exerted the Lonely Grave to then. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I just got so excited. We exerted the Lonely Grave, banished our Wreck-It Ralph, which board wiped Trip Allen's board. We came at the right time, you guys. Oh my!
This is the game I wanted to see.
Yes, this is what we're talking about. I've never seen any of these cards win a DLC, and we may never see it, but this is what I want. As we just tempo out a Lewis and give nothing reckless.
Oh no!
I got nothing and you got nothing, but let's play another Lewis. Okay. Oh no.
Let's do nothing together, huh? We play.
Oh man, that was so good. I love Lonely Grave. I love it. I've got like a bad derpy deck that I think Reginald over in chat has built, and it's all leveraging little.
Oh, it's another Wreck-It Ralph on the table.
Absolutely love it for you. And Wreck-It Ralph does say that when this character is banished, you banish everything equal to his strength, and his strength is equal to it's been boosted up under him. So I think he is naturally like a 3, and then if you boost him, he gets more and more and more. And now we do know that Lewis is a 4/3. So you could boost him and then Lonely Grave him again and then just wipe the board again, which is so ridiculously silly. And Quest for Cole is going to have some answering to do because I need this list.
I think my favorite thing is that Quest with Cole said, "Oh, cool, you gave us Raging Storm. I'll just use this instead." That's sweet. Yeah. And as we play an Elsa Fifth Spirit to deal. Oh no!
Go ahead and deal with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what's going to happen?
Yeah, everything says bye-bye.
Not everything.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so basically, you still 2-for-1 yourself. You didn't get the last Lewis. He's fine because he's a 4, but we will go on a quest. So I mean, Wreck-It Ralph doing whatever he needed to do anyway. That's crazy.
Yeah, and huge shout out to Luke for throwing us into this match in progress. I'm glad you put us here. Thank you, buddy. We definitely wanted to see this. This is great. This is fantastic.
Get your foil Lonely Graves now. That
Yep.
is actually the next Masters of a Disaster deck that I'm building is the Lonely Grave Shenanigan deck.
Stonks are on the rise for Lonely Grave. I love to see it.
I showed this deck to Tiago. I showed this deck to Sailor, and they all just looked at me like I was insane as we Dragon Fire Lewis, taking him out. You don't get anything. I don't get anything, but we're going to ink Illumineer, and we do have enough ink to play a Cheshire Cat, which is a Ruby.
It's a Ruby Amethyst deck.
Great deck.
Oh, who needs Be Prepared? Be Prepared was not even that good if you really think about it, right? Like, this is so much better.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. As we play the White Rabbit, this is the underdog one that has evasive. So he's a 2-cost, 2-quester, 1-quester. Man, this card bones.
Yeah.
But it does Tigger bouncing all around for no trigger because it has to hit a character 2 or less. So
twice now, Trip has been forced to play characters just without using their full effect because we just need to keep characters on the board, which is kind of what you want to do, and granted, Trip is slightly ahead on the lore count, but Quest with Cole able to reverse the board state that we kind of enter this game with and is mounting a comeback. Speaking of which, a great way to do that is to draw 2 cards, and we do that with a Woodchuck's Guidebook pretty easily.
Pretty easily, yeah, absolutely. And being able to then exert 2 ink to play a Diablo, to exert another ink to play another Lonely Grave.
Why not?
I do love that. Listen, I love that. So I think that Wreck-It Ralph he's a 3/4 or is he a 3? Yeah, he is a 3/4. So that Elsa should have been on the board. Actually, she would not be banished. Oh wait, no, she would be banished because when he is banished, that also happens. So then so she basically gets
as Quest with Cole performing a magic of some kind, casting a spell.
Like no cards in hand. No cards in hand dance. Yeah.
Okay.
Webby Vanderquack, she is a junior prospector coming in and being able to then quest and take advantage of the ink of your opponent. If they have more ink, you get to ink off the top of your deck, which is actually pretty cool. But she does have ward, so you can't get after her no matter how hard you try.
This is true. And as we see now, Cole's going to have to figure it out. And Yzma again, able to hold on. Did Cole?
Oh, I think Cole. I think
Cole's ahead. I think that
switched. So the Ruby Amethyst player is at 16 and the Emerald Amethyst player is at 10 as that Diablo does go for a quest. Having 2 lore, Yzma also having 2 lore. And also, by the way, next turn we have no cards in hand and we'll be able to just then refill our hand. So this is looking pretty good in game 3 for our Ruby Amethyst player. We're in turns though, so we're going to find out what happens. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I mean, just don't touch my characters.
Right. Yeah, just leave my characters alone, and we'll both be chill. But I don't think Trip wants to do that, as Cole is going to try to win this thing. Because the funny thing about being in time and being in turns is even though you have more lore on the board, you don't get to win the game. So that's going to be an interesting prospect if Cole is not able to close this thing out after we saw some pretty crazy things happen.
What if you don't touch my characters?
You're like, leave my dudes
what
alone.
If you because at this point you're gonna have to run both of your things into, because like the right rabbit is a 2/2 and I think Webby is also 2/2, so you're gonna have to Demona, draw 3 cards. Hey, so I'm gonna also draw 3 cards, but it will go ahead and exert and you get to draw 3 cards. But at this point you'll have to run both of your things into my character to then take it out, right? And then I'm gonna pass to you and I just give you 3 cards. So I don't know what turn we're on. But
they've been in turns, I think, for a bit, so I can't imagine that they are. Yeah, that might be a forced draw here. 18. That may have just forced the tie.
Because I was about to say, because basically what's going to happen is you go ahead and I unexert. I'm going to quest for 2, and then I'm going to slam everything that you just gave me into my hand, which is a liquidator, into the inkwell. And what are we doing? We're scooping up. Please don't tell me we're scooping up. I want to see one more thing happen. Okay, no, this is turn. So this is turn. Ooh, we have time. Because now if we just play out our whole hand, you got to have Elsa, Demona, and everything else in between to be able to kind of take these out. Because
Oh no!
We played down a library and a Diablo. And what other tricks do you have up your sleeve? I am
And so
absolutely
much
dying at
ink
this.
to
Yeah,
do all kinds of
absolutely.
stuff,
And
and
a
a
Cheshire
cat.
cat. And we're not done. We're going to
Nope.
put the Yzma on the library, and then we are going to exert the Yzma. No, we need to quest. We can't do that. We have to quest.
Yeah,
You have to quest. You can't
yeah,
just like quest up to 18.
yeah.
Yeah.
The chat identifying.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. He put the Yzma on the library and then Lonely Graved the library to then draw a card to boost the Cheshire Cat.
Oh, that is so good. Lonely Grave putting folks, get your Lonely Graves
Also,
in
but he draws a
now.
card. You draw a card. Make sure you
Yep.
draw a card. Did he not draw the card? Runner.
I
Runner. He
think
needs to draw a card off of the library trigger. He boosted it. He didn't draw.
Oh, okay. It was okay. It was a boot. Yeah, I didn't
Is
catch
that good?
that.
No, it's not good.
It's okay. So it's
Why
a
doesn't
May
he want to
ability.
draw?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so bummed. I'm so bummed. Is that good? Don't yell at me.
Don't
I'm
yell
sorry.
at me.
I'm so excited about it. Is that good? No, it's not good. Is it fun? Is it the best thing I've ever seen? Yeah.
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 I'm gonna say yes too.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, yes. So you did that. You banished it and it boosted it to the cat, which I love that. But at the same time, you have no cards in hand. So you should draw a card off of the library. Why did you waste your time taking and
Yeah.
putting the Yzma onto the library if you weren't going to do it? But that is game on board as we do stare at the Diablo on a library, which I mean, name a better combination, right? You pop my Diablo somehow, and I'm going to draw 2 cards as we
Yeah.
do have the boosted Cheshire Cat.
I mean, I think the Diablo in a library to draw 2 cards is a tale almost as old as time. Almost not quite as old as some of the tales we've told, but still pretty old.
Yeah. And sorry for everybody at home. I've just been yelling for the past like 5 minutes. But yes, Lonely Grave does say if you exert, you can banish a character of yours and put the top card of your deck face down and under one of your characters or locations with boost. So basically, you're banishing one of your characters to then boost another character. But there are a lot of characters in this game that says when this character is banished, do a fun little dance. And that's kind of the deck that it seems like Quest with Cole has assembled here. And I am all for it.
I'm gonna have to go to Cole and ask for this deck list because I need to play this. This looks like so much fun. I'm playing this at. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing this in my weekly locals this week.
I know.
Sure.
This is like gameactions.deck, and that is me. It just like I don't even know if I'm winning, but boy,
yeah,
howdy, I'm drawing cards, I'm banishing things, I'm pulling things back here, I'm boosting this. Like, did I win? I don't know. Man, I have no idea. But did I have fun? Woohoo! I think yeah, I think we should have. I think the only thing I'm a little bummed. I really wish we would have been able to at least remember to draw that card because we did spin the ink to move her over. But yeah, I think we're trying to figure out maybe a little, a bit of a judge call. Lonely Grave's making everything stuff and weird.
Yeah, which Lonely Grave should do because that means that we don't get to see it too often. So I'm glad that it's causing some confusion as Trip is revealing that there's double Go-Gos.
A double Go-Go in hand as well as the Elsa.
And Elsa to indicate that they would have the game locked in potentially. I don't think so.
He's only at 10. I think we're going for the scoop now.
Oh yeah, I think we're playing everyone's favorite game, which is If I Had One More Turn.
Yes, my favorite mini game within the mini game is oh man, that is something. J-Bomb, please, if you can hear me, please ask Quest for Cole why. Oh well, somebody ping J-Bomb and ask him to ask Quest for Cole in his interview that why he didn't draw a card off of the Yzma banish.
Yeah, we'd love to know. Inquiring minds need to know. They need to know. As man, I am we've seen 2 crazy games, and we haven't even entered into round 2 yet. Color, this is crazy.
I know.
I love the ICL. I love the ICL. So much fun.
It's so good. Again, like switching over and seeing Lonely Grave on there into that like Wreck-It Ralph play was like No, that's what I wanted to. Well, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But the dogs, no, I want to see you, Lonely Grave, your own Wreck-It Ralph. That's what I'm here for on the ICL. But
Yeah.
again, I'm very excited. The library wouldn't be banished with Webby and Demona because no, it would because Demona is a 6'5", right? Or is she a 5?
I believe she's a 6'5".
Yeah, she's a
5'6".
6'5",
She's
and
5'6". 5'6". She's 5'6".
oh, she's a 5'6", and then Webby's only a 2, so that couldn't have taken out library. Okay, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure library was safe, but it's
Yeah.
Goliath that is the 6'5".
Yes, Goliath is scary.
She's a 5'6". Yeah, Goliath's a big boy.
Yeah. Yeah, these statues, they need to get their stuff together. It's getting crazy out here.
I know.
You know, all these gargoyles, you know, just crazy with all these stats.
They're huge. They're huge.
they're so big.
She's a 6'7". Maybe I just wanted to be a 6'7". But again, Luke is
gargoyles.
We love gargoyles.
We love gargoyles, and we love a good. I'm not going to disrespect it and say a jank deck because I don't think that was janky. I think that was a visionary style deck because in a world full of dogs, what should you be doing? You should be playing Lonely Grave.
You really should. Cole is ahead of his time, just a master of the skill and deserves every. You know, it's sad they say that artists are never respected until after they're gone, and I feel like Cole is an artist with what he just produced there with that Lonely Grave. So
absolutely,
there's that.
And again, I mean, but at least we're seeing different variations, right? We saw the Rockstar variation, like Sailor took it down without the Chromacon. Like I think it was like to our point earlier, there are so many ways to innovate and deck build within this game that I think like this is going to be a hot take. I kind of like that our DLCs are starting to be more spread out in terms of that. Because
that takes on fire.
Hold on. Because the thing is like, because we need a little bit more time for like, for deck building, or like we're just going to see dogs lapped over dogs, and it's like give people a little bit more time to innovate, and instead they just hold on, I'm not done, hold on, and it's like instead of just grabbing the deck that you know is good and changing a few cards because hey, I've got an event in 5 days, like I don't know. Because I know that some people go and they throw wacky cards in there, and then other people just go and they're like, this is what works, and then Cole goes, what about Lonely Grave?
I think more people took a break from core because of the less events to go to. Honestly, I think if there's more events, there's more likelihood that more people will play for them and test for them, and then that's more people brewing new decks, and that could give us a lot of other fun things.
Like
but
a CCQ per weekend for the next month. Have you guys seen?
And not everyone's going to these. But
they're all over the
I'm
country.
gonna let you say goodbyes because we got to go to the next match.
Goodbye. Follow,
like, subscribe.
Wow, that was cold-blooded, Luke. That was cold-blooded.
I said goodbye, not do shout-outs.
Yeah, who said you are not allowed to do shout-outs?
I said good day.
Oh, as we see Phantom 14 versus Vince with what are those sleeves with? Is that Vince's face on the sleeves?
I can't remember whose face it was, because I think we saw it short. I swear we saw these sleeves like last week, possibly too.
I think so too. And that mat, by the way, you gotta love the mat. That's a throwback, mattified throwback there. Love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, one of those two faces is probably going to trigger you, if not both of them.
I would think both. And for me, I like them both. I think they're both fine. I was never a proponent of messing with them too much, but
that was Royce's face. We just saw Royce play. That was his face.
Oh, that is funny. That is so funny. Well, shout out to Royce. As we see, and a huge shout out. We were going to see Royce's face approximately 60 more times, apparently, depending on how many cards are in this deck.
Yeah, maybe the whole team's wearing them. Or using them. Everyone but Royce has Royce face sleeves.
I love it. We need the Myers face sleeves too. Like I need like a set with Myers faces on it, and then I can play my opponents. They'll be like, "Who's that?" And I'll be like, "That's my dad," and he loves me. That's my dad, Meyer. That's my papa. As we see, are we keeping those four? Or are we sending back those four? That's the question here.
A
You
crazy
never
thing,
know.
when I was looking to see what match you're going to jump into, there was 3 decks, 3 different groups that all were playing Sapphire Steel in the first round, and one of those was a mirror.
Oh my gosh.
It's like
Sapphire Steel. Okay.
we got to see Harlan Sweet playing on SLTC, and of course he had to do a mirror in the first round.
Oh, good. I mean, listen, if you want to learn how to play a deck at its maximum skill level, just put it in against the mirror. That's the most skill you're
True.
going to get. So, I know some people feel some kind of way about mirrors, but I really do believe that if you want to get better at this game, you've got to master the mirror. That's the one thing that'll set you apart from like
Some
the average player.
mirrors, some mirrors are pure torture. Other mirrors are pure skill. So I think it really depends on that. The dog's mirror, there is some skill to it, but realistically, it comes down to, do you have it? Are you under the seeing me before I get to? And because of how insanely powerful Tramp is, you don't
Yeah.
need the under the sea. So the counters to that, you don't have it. Like, sure, they could be unlucky and have that under the sea in your hand, and you could have that Ursula or whatnot. But if you're Ursulaing on the draw on turn 2, that's not good enough.
No, yeah, it's got to be well timed. It's got to be well placed. And yeah, to your point, I think it becomes a dance. Like the tramp dance is. I don't want under the sea on that first tramp. I want it on the second tramp when that first tramp is dry, and it like that's where all the skill comes in. As we see a white rabbit enter the Inkwell for Phantom to play a Webby Vanderquack. If my vision does not fail me there.
That is the second white rabbit we saw. I do believe when we
Yep,
glanced at that other match, there was a white rabbit in play
there
for
was.
Nashkana.
Yep, there absolutely was.
And what a great. I didn't even know that's what I was taking us to. Didn't even know.
Yeah, you were a hero for that. Again, like huge shout out to you for doing that. We needed that. Every
Well,
little
that
bit
was
of that.
fate. Pure fate.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm glad Color got to see the Lonely Grave in action. She was so happy. Like I was so happy for her. It was crazy.
Like, I look at the board and I'm like, oh, this game's a low lore count, not very many characters in play. I set it up, I transfer it, and I hear you say, oh, this game looks like it's over. And I look over and I'm like, oh, there's like twice as many characters in play. And then Wreck-It Ralph comes in a wrecking like a wrecking ball. I don't know actually the
Yeah.
tune of that song, so we'll just say that was good enough. But
That was pretty close. I gotta say, I've never taught or did music myself, but that felt pretty close. As we see a Webby Vanderquack shift, interesting with our prospector now on the table, trying to see if we can take advantage of some lore gain, but at the moment doesn't look like that's the case. Maybe not right now, but could take advantage of it later. But
yeah,
still, you got a two quester that has ward, not too shabby, if you ask me.
Vince has got to be looking at all that ramp in his hand, being like, oh, yeah, I get to ramp. And then they get to steal it right back from me. Thanks. But
Yeah.
theoretically, unless Phantom stops inking, if Phantom just stops inking, he could just use Webby every turn. But that would put him back a turn, and all of his ink would be coming into play exerted. But the power of that play in these grindy matchups is so insane.
It is, yeah. And I think what you're ultimately hoping for is exactly this, right? So rather than worrying about Vince getting ahead that way, if you ramp, which Vince just did with that Steal the Azurite Sea, that'll put Vince to 3. So now we could quest prior to inking, take advantage of it, and at the very least get ahead by 1. And then we'll play a little bit more of that catch-up game and make some decisions about whether or not we ink. The question is that going to matter enough in this matchup, or is the threat of this color pairing going to just completely upend Phantom's plan?
Let's see, Phantom is on Emerald Steel.
Oh,
All right, all
so
right, all right. I like it.
I'm happy to see that. Yes. And
Inknights
we
are trying to make me like them even more.
if more than you already do is crazy because you love them. As we see taking advantage, yeah. So using the ability there, questing with the Webby, and then going to go ahead and ink to put Phantom ahead. Who needs Sail the Azurite Sea or Tipo when you got Webby Vanderquack? Funny enough, she also goes into the ink, and we're going to use our 3 ink to play. Oh, is that our
A
dear friend
Lexington.
Lexington? Yes.
Are you a Lexington? Are you a gargoyle boy? Or are you a GG girl?
No, I'm a Gigi girl all the way. Gigi is I think Gigi is the way to go. I don't want to have to ever worry about deciding whether or not my character will not be used ever again because I
Oh,
decided to deal with
I'm
it.
sorry. It's not a Lexington boy. It's a Lexington lad. I'm sorry. I got to get the
Thank you.
iteration down properly.
Yes, yes, that's
Um,
true.
I was a Gigi girl for a while, but like, oh, Lexington's not been looking bad. It's not been too bad recently. Like with
If
this
you're playing
world
Angela,
of Blurple.
if you're playing Angela, I think it's fine. I just, I like it feels like Lawrence of old. Like the shrinking when it has damage on it. So certain, if you're playing it in a Cheshire strategy with Cheshire Cat or something, that could be pretty solid. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something about the having a card that you have to say, I don't think I want to exert it because then I'll never use it
You
at
know
least for like
what?
4 turns.
I took that survey today, and I
Yeah.
just put like some random enchanteds as the best art in the set. I mean, the enchanted art is insane, so I don't feel bad about that. But I forgot about Angela. She has some fantastic art.
She really
And
does.
if this had the enchanted treatment, so like all the planets in her wings could have been like foil stuff, that would have been so cool.
It would have been sick, dude. That would have been so cool. Yeah, yeah.
Double
You know what I'd
Vanderquack.
love? What I love is the ability for them to come back and eventually do enchanteds of these kinds of cards, or maybe redo these characters, and we get to see something like that. And Ravensburg, if you're listening, do it because that'd be so cool.
Yeah, I am. I just want more art style cards. Give me full art, non foil, but what are we calling the enchanted like golden foil treatment? Like I want a non foil but still gilded card. So
Okay.
like nothing foil except for the star gildings.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. That'd be yeah. So like where like the lettering, like some of the lettering or some of the treatment, like that user interface rather than the actual like stuff.
Yeah, or just do it the like do the name in foil as well, like the epics are. Or
Oh, that'd
the
be cool.
enchanteds are. So you do the name like that, you do some of the art, and that's all the foiling, and then you put that in between epic and enchanted as another tier of bonuses to opening up product. And I've been chatting about the cards for a second, so we kind of missed Vince, developing a genie, inking another Demona, Phantom, adding another Vanderquack to play, being able to be like, if you try to ramp, I'm getting it all back, and like it does look like Phantom still only has 5 ink here for now.
It does, yeah, this feels like a little bit of a slower start here. Vince, of course, getting that Cheshire Cat in play on that turn 5 and using the boost to be able to move the 2 damage. So Blurple doing Blurple things here as we see Cheshire Cat kind of helping to mitigate some of the damage that it dealt to itself, moving 2 damage over to Lexington, which means not too far away from Lexington saying bye bye if we're not too careful.
And if that was a GG, it would just be a 2/4.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So maybe there is a place here where this 4/4 Lexington is certainly a force to be reckoned with.
I think I'm pretty sure on stream this weekend, we saw both of them get punished. Where it was just like, oh, if this was the other one, it would be fine. But it wasn't, so they got punished.
You're 100% right. Yeah, and I think the alert on both is big here as we see Phantom with so much ink playing a Calhoun. We love to see her. And a Doc,
Ooh,
because
Doc.
why not put a Bold Knight down and draw some extra cards? Why not do that?
I do love seeing some Emerald Steel, but it also just makes me sad because my favorite Lorcana card is Ursula Deceiver of All, and I can't play it right now.
It is such a good card.
I want her reprinted.
So good.
I want that reprint. I don't need Sudden Chill, okay? I don't need to make you discard cards. I'm perfectly content banishing 2 of your characters.
Yeah, that seems like a totally cool character.
I'm perfectly fine singing, do you want to build a snowman?
Oh my gosh, that'd be so cool. Speaking of cool, Basil not feeling too cool, all by his lonesome, as Phantom just continues to put down more and more characters. We see just collecting here, just the glimmers are gathering on Phantom's side.
I can't tell what that is.
That's a great question. It looks like, is that no? I can't tell you there. Chat, let me know if you can tell what that is by the blurry art there. This is a yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll figure it out.
So you can check out how amazing the Discord upgrades are on Vince's camera, where we get to fully experience the 1080p 60 frames a second cam. But sadly, not all cameras are equal.
That's true.
And
This is true, and
that's
so
a fair
folks,
thing. It took me a
yeah.
long time before I had a good one.
Did you? I mean, it can be. It took me a little bit for me to get a nice camera like this one that I'm using right now. It took me a little
So
bit of time.
I had one that would like flicker so often that when I used like the VTuber thing as the cat, it would like lose focus on it, and the cat would just like stare off to the side and then regather and then stare off to the side. And
Oh goodness gracious! As there's a bit of a lull in the gameplay right now. I think there's some decisions to be made here. Okay, yep.
Yep,
So
just
Vince
tanking.
deciding to play Elsa, the fifth spirit.
Ooh, maybe if I listen to the game, they'll tell me the name of the character.
Oh, I'm sure at some point, yeah. As we see Basil questing, of course, we know Basil has support, which gives Elsa the ability to challenge for 4 strength into the character that was just exerted.
Hear me, Gabe. So sorry, I should have deafened you. But that is the
No, it's okay.
2-cost 3/3 mini mouse. I'm about to pull it up on the screen so everyone can see.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Oh,
2-cost.
chat had it. Chat had it. I didn't even need to do any of that. Chat
No,
was on top of
Chat
it.
is so good. We love chat. Chat, you are awesome. And R&B shouting out, double sing, "This is my family," by the way.
That's also pretty good.
That's pretty sick, dude.
I mean, I'm fine with
so
just
in.
be our guest, but if I'm gonna double sing that, or we still have Beyond the Horizon, and double singing Beyond the Horizon is amazing.
So like clean up the top 6 cards of your deck.
So in the mirror, they would have Diablo and Prince John, right? So they would draw a bunch of cards. So you double sing it. You each draw like 7 or 8 cards, and then you sing it again, only targeting them. So then they have to lose their whole hand, and you just don't activate any of your John triggers.
Oh,
and so they only get 3, and you have like a full grip.
Oh my god! And with John, correct me if I'm wrong. You essentially draw, and every time you draw, you can decide whether you want to keep drawing or not.
For every discard, you get to choose if you want to draw.
That's right. Yeah.
So what happens is you trigger off them discarding their first hand. So if they have 7 cards, you could be going up to like 15 cards. Wow. They go up to 15, and you're like, oh, now discard all those again, but I'm not going to draw anymore this time.
Yikes. That is
more
crazy.
Genies.
Yes, such genies. As we know, Genie, of course, part of the Evasive Wars, Genie Wars, and known for all kinds of things. With the Hypnotic Strength entering the play here, choosing the Elsa. Elsa is going to go ahead and deal with poor Vanderquack. Yeah, the
Vanderquack
out of here. Vanderquack.
I don't know why I keep wanting to say Vanderbeek. I don't even think that's a character in the game.
It's not, but I feel like it's a real last name. That's probably why. You're probably thinking of
Vanderbeek.
Yeah, Vanderbeek is like a real last name. That's like from our boring world, and not from this cool Lorcana world.
Like Vanderbeek? No. Vanderquack.
Exactly. As we see, is that a Pluto? Is that a Steel Champion Pluto? It is a Steel Champion Pluto. People think that its only good value is that it deals with items. That is wrong. Pluto is great because Pluto turns every one of your Steel characters into a Calhoun, and that's pretty crazy. I think people really underestimate the value of that card, but not Phantom, because of course Phantom's playing it, even though there's no items.
R&B making me sad in chat, telling me why I want to say Vanderbeek.
There you go. Yep. So sad. Shout out to Dawson's Creek.
Yep.
We're not gonna look at Phantom's lore right now. Phantom's sitting at 16 lore, just climbing little by, just turning character sideways. Vince not really able to establish any kind of footing here. We did see just kind of a pretty, while the opening was pretty what you'd expect from Blurple, we saw that Basil went into the ramp on 2, was able to play the Genie, and then into a Cheshire Cat. It feels as though Vince has kind of been the unfortunate recipient of bad luck, not really seeing any kind of stuff to deal with what's going on, and just a much slower start from Vince.
Do you see this? hilarious ward character that Phantom has over there. The Scar hanging out,
Oh,
card draw, and more.
yes, we do love that Scar. Whenever one of your characters challenges a damaged character, you may draw a card. Pretty solid card.
It's a it's a way to kind of get like if you have to send two of your characters to trade in with their stuff, at least this makes it still a 2 for 2.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Scar I think is it's interesting because there's all this conditional draw in Emerald, and it gets a really bad rap for the conditional draw, unless of course you're talking about Clarabelle. Clarabelle is probably the one draw that everyone seems to really focus on when it comes to Emerald. But you could build a deck, I think, with Emerald that is just able to deal with the board, able to use all kinds of really cool tools, still draw. I think the issue with Amethyst being unconditional draw, of course, is everyone's like, well, I'll just do that because that's like way easier. It's just so much easier to just draw things for not
I
doing work.
I really want to see him play Bread.
Oh, we love
Like
bread.
if Phantom top decks Bread right here, it would be so good.
Bread, of course, it costs 1, and you chose a character that gains alert and challenger plus
But I'm
2.
much faster.
Yeah, it is so good. But I am much faster. And for those who don't understand why it's called bread, it's because in the picture, Aladdin, of course, is wielding bread to defend himself. I've been asked a bunch of times, by the way, why do I call it bread? I had to clarify that. People still don't know.
This game has gone so long, it has now eaten all 3 snoozes. Actually, I
Oh
probably shouldn't
no!
have snoozed right there. I should have just let it go, since we're at 19 lore. And the game might be over by the time it gets there. I'm
Oh
sorry, chat, I failed
no,
you!
chat.
So maybe if I
What,
push the ad right now,
can
it'll
you?
give me it back. I can,
Is that how
but
that
it's not
works
going to
though?
give me my snooze back.
Oh, but at least it'll be delayed. Like they won't hit you with another one for at least like some
Oh,
time.
we
So.
still have a good 15-ish minutes, I think, or
Oh,
something like
okay,
that.
very cool.
Normally, plenty of time for one game.
Love to see it. We love to see it. In chat again, just a huge shout out for those of you. You could be anywhere. Tuesday is a great time to do all kinds of stuff, and yet you are here and you are hanging out with us on a Tuesday night at the ICL. So chat, please, huge thank you to you guys for being here watching this, because without you all of this is for nothing.
I almost did that backwards. I had the wrong lore up, and I almost paid out the bet improperly.
Oh no. Oh no,
But I
some
didn't.
shiesty.
I didn't.
Good.
I was on top of it this time.
I
For
gotta start doing
once.
that. I'm such a good person. I've never bet on things ever in my
Well,
life,
it's up
ever.
right now. If you'd like to spend some channel points, you have all
Oh,
these channel points from watching all the time. You might as well have some fun with them. You can do a few other things. Most of them don't work during the ICL, though, so you have to come in and tune in to the normal daily stream so you can do such things as this.
But why?
yeah, there you go.
But why? Because that's why.
Is that really what it does? You just
Oh,
you just have to answer one.
do you know the meme with the guy and the penguin?
The guy? No, I have no idea.
Oh, it's like, but why? That's a voice
Oh,
clip thing.
okay, very
Just
cool.
Google "but why penguin" and you'll
Oh,
figure it out.
all right, I'll do it after the game
It's
though.
probably not really worth it. It's just a weird TikTok, Instagram thing. Twitch, please fix predictions on mobile.
Oh no, people can't predict on mobile.
The mobile app is all sorts of unpleasant to use.
Oh,
So I've streamed off of the mobile app. Couldn't find out how to see chat while
oh
streaming.
no.
And if you try to minimize Twitch chat on your phone or the Twitch on your phone, it closes your stream. It turns your stream off.
Oh no.
So if you get a phone call, it cancels your stream.
No
There's
way.
I'm sure there's a way to fix it, and I just don't know how or something because that seems so unintuitive.
Yeah, that seems like a terrible thing. Like that's a horrible user experience. Speaking of horrible user experiences, we see Basil entering the play on 1, which if Vince gets the line here, if Vince gets to do the ramp line and start doing crazy blurble things, Phantom may have a difficult time here. Webby though, seeing Webby on 1, similar start as we had last time. Does Phantom have the Webby that can shift on 2 to start taking advantage of Sale or Tipo if Vince even has it? And we're about to find out now. as we ink. Yep. But we only tapped one. We do not have it. It looks like we do not have the ramp. We are going to go ahead and we're going to play the Royal Guard on 2. Not the start that Vince probably wants out of this.
So there's a world that Vince has a 3-drop into 4-drop, and maybe no, because the Webby's activating no matter what next turn.
Correct.
So like, yeah, Vince is probably just not in a good spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, because like even if we did some kind of like sneaky brain tactics, yeah, you can, because Phantom is on the draw here. That is just what's gonna happen. So, all right. So Vince, of course, figuring out, doing some touch math. Oh, as we see, Let It Go hitting the inkwell. Oh no, Vince having to think through this, making some choices. No, wait, no. Did we just ink and pass on 3?
I mean, that is what the deck. I think it's only 3-drop is cat.
Yeah, it's Cheshire Cat. I mean, so not even being able to see the Cheshire. This is, yes, we did. So we did in fact ink and pass on 3. Now, notably, Phantom does not have the shift here, but choosing the ink, unless he has the shift and just forgot to do it. But choosing the ink when Webby could have otherwise gotten an extra ink here. So we do see.
Oops.
No. Okay, so it looks like we may have missequenced there a bit. All right, we should, yes. So we should.
Oh, we're singing. We're not questing. We're singing.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that's why. Yep. Get rid of that Basil. Get that Basil out of here.
I might have done that the other way around. But I think Phantom. Well, I just might have taken the Royal Guard, but I think Phantom is playing towards the turn after, where he might not want to get got. But ooh,
wait, no, he can't. That's got ward. He can't bounce that.
It's a Sven. He didn't bounce it. He challenged it.
I thought it was Tigger. There you go. It is Sven. Why do those cards look so similar? I've been confused by that card a bunch.
All right, that's one of the bad things about Winterspell. There's too many cards that just have a white snow background. So it is kind of hard to tell the difference. And I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's like character in the very middle and then the outside is just all white.
Yeah, and it's like in the air, like jumping.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, fair enough. But yes, Sven, pretty good here. That was a pretty good move there. We do see Lexington coming down. So Vince doesn't feel like Vince has been super punished for missing the ramp and missing a turn 3 play here. Pretty much on pace with Phantom, it feels. But we'll see. We'll see if that actually matters.
I didn't see how many cards Vince mold. So it could be that he was like, well, I need this, and he kept some like curved 4s and was like, I'll hit it, and didn't.
Yep.
But
it's better to be lucky than good, Luke. That's what I keep saying.
Yeah.
It's better to be lucky than good. And now we see Vince making some decisions here. Was about to ink a card, but said, nah, hold on, let me think about that. But yeah, opting to send that Basil into the inkwell to play Cheshire Cat.
Oh my goodness.
That is big. That Sven gets to do more Sven things. That is terrifying and frightening at the same time. The Royal Guard coming in saying, hey, I dare you to deal with my Royal Guard. I got all kinds of stuff that'll make your day terrible.
Yep. So if Phantom had shifted on the Webby and quested, then Vince could have just supported up the Royal Guard and take out the Webby. So he goes for the shift sing plan and then gets punished by the Sven, which is a card that like I think is very reasonable not to play around. It does not see too much play. We get a Snow Fort followed by a Dock by Phantom, so he's still in the game.
Yeah,
Vince
absolutely.
only has 2 cards, but I'll tell you right now, Demona is probably going to win the game. If he inks in Demonas, this game is probably over unless Phantom, because only 2 cards in hand, giving them 1 card while getting rid of everything is reasonable. But it looks like it's not.
It's not. It's a genie, of course, looking to see more cards before we ultimately commit to inking a card. So that's always the turning card sideways is always a clear indicator that it's not a Demona on that turn 6. As we see Cheshire Cat entering into the inkwell, Still, though, I mean, Vince is still in a pretty good spot. I mean, you're right. A Demona would have completely blown this game up, but Vince still ahead. Vince still in charge of the game, and I think Phantom's going to have to do a little bit extra work to figure it out, even with the 2 cards from Doc.
So this is interesting. I have like blaring sirens going off in my head saying that Vince does not have Demona. Because I could not see myself ever questing with Royal Guard. But it's such a suspicious quest.
You have to almost think he might.
Yeah, I'm just like, something. Like, because the Snow Fort answers it.
Yeah.
I don't... Is the resist only on your opponent's turn? Let's find out. Let's see what Snow Fort does.
I believe, the resist is only in your opponent's turn, but the strength, I want to say, is all the time. Yes.
Correct.
During opponent's turns, yeah. That's correct. Yeah, Snowfort's pretty good. A great inclusion from Winterspell. I gotta say, it is a so I will. Last week, I had a chance to interview a lot of different players. In fact, I interviewed all the Blurple players in round 1 and in round 2. And can you believe that every one of the Blurple players last week told me that their favorite card in Winterspell is Snowfort? Every single one of them.
The Blurple players.
All the Blurple players told me that they were really excited to see what Snowfort can do. And I'm like, cool. Yeah, I agree with you. But why are you playing this monstrosity? Why are you playing?
You
why
say
are you
that,
such a...
and it made me realize I didn't think of a question for them all to answer.
Oh.
Again.
Listen, I believe in J-Bomb. J-Bomb's got it figured out. I'm sure J-Bomb's got something good for him. As
right.
we see.
I think Vince is tanking about what he wants to do here. Putting the Snow Fort in front just as a friendly reminder.
Yep.
Ooh, J-Bomb has a good question.
I told you. I see, I believe in J-Bomb. I told you.
I believed in him. I was just disappointed in myself.
You shouldn't be. It's okay.
Do you know how many balls I dropped today? I dropped so many balls, I could open a ball court. I was trying to think of a store that sells balls. I couldn't think of one. I could open a gym. There we go. I don't know.
Well, if you dropped them all, then you wouldn't have them in your possession. So would your store be empty then? Like,
I mean, you can pick the ball back up.
I guess
a Dunham's.
Yeah. Dunham's. Yeah, it's like a Dick's Sporting Goods or something. As we see a Sven with so much value from that Sven now finally getting sent into the discard pile, and Elsa coming in to deal with stuff. I mean, I guess not necessarily, but now with the help of the Cheshire Cat, does indirectly deal with the same stuff. There you go. All right, cool. Yeah, so I guess they're ultimately deciding where it goes because, of course, the resist math is funny, and they just want to make Vince making sure that we're using every point of damage effectively from that Cheshire Cat's boost.
Yeah, that was
Bobby talking about Mr. Burns Sporting Goods. I love it.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely. It is Mr. Burns Sporting Goods.
This Phantom's still kind of in a rough spot here. Vince is got. Oh, all right. Let's get that out of here. I'm gonna say that's really doing some work, but we take that away, and it's anyone's game. 1-4. Vince has got some amount of clock, but Phantom can just fairly easily turn his stuff, exert his stuff. And exerting the dock is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It is questionable if we wait a turn.
I mean, with the resist though, is it? I mean, you've got the resist, so either way, it's a 2-for-1. Even at the, it'd be a 2-for-1 at this point. Of course, I mean by 2-for-1, I mean of course not that you lose those 2 characters. You got to use both of them to challenge into the dock. So I think it's questionable, but yeah.
Phantom really needs to get these cards out of his hand, but he paid full cost for that removal. So it's possible he just has more of that, but he wants to be able to take as much advantage off of Demona if Vince draws one.
That's a good point. Yeah, and you know, like I think you were right when you said that Thunderbolt that came in last turn was a huge Thunderbolt because that Cheshire Cat was just cleaning up, was just doing all kinds of crazy math. And right now it does feel as though Vince is like in a very kind of soft area in terms of, you know, where he stands on the board state. I mean, obviously winning the evasive wars, so the clock is in favor of Vince, inevitability is in favor of Vince, as we see Vince going to go ahead and quest to take advantage of those evasive abilities. But yeah,
Vince has some insane abilities to top deck here. That one is a little weak just because it trades. But like Hades off the top, absurd. Dumbo off the top, busted in half, right? Like, but there's a world that Vince draws sail, sail, draw Tipo, play Tipo, pass. Like we have
Yeah.
all 8 pieces of ramps still in our deck. And while sail does replace itself, if he plays sail, he'd have to then double ink to then be able to play Hades, and then that's not
Correct.
great because he doesn't need
No.
9 ink. Tipo
No.
off the top.
That's gonna be rough. But we are able to play a Madam Mim elephant to replay the genie. Hopefully, see something of value here. That elephant, not too terrible into this matchup. Should be able to deal with some of the resist problems and puts Phantom in a spot where if we do turn that elephant Mim sideways, he's gonna have to figure out what to do with it and potentially lose some characters for it.
So Vince doesn't actually really have very many good attack challenges right here. Or questing, because if he exerts anything, this Lexington hits it for 5.
Yep.
And if he does quest with Lexington, it's going to require every single character to challenge it to take it out.
Yeah.
I actually think I might have quested there because maybe he forgot about the resist. Or is playing around another strength or something, but
Oh, Hades is pretty good here. Hades is pretty good as we take the alert character off of the table into the inkwell, and creating another situation where the clock, the inevitability, is on Vince's side, little by little, climbing up that mountain to the magic number 20. Vince is with the game currently in control. It's not a commanding lead, but it's a lead nonetheless.
Dock into Snowfort. Lexington.
Oof. No, that's a Webby. You are a terrible prophet.
Well, if it was a snow fort, our Calhoun could at least take out this elephant. And now we're in a rough spot that I almost think we have to lose our board to deal with this elephant before it makes us like Calhoun's banished if the elephant stays around.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. So this elephant does represent some serious problems, but Phantom is being put into some really weird spots, and Vince about to take advantage of that. Okay. I was gonna say I saw Phantom grab dice. I'm like, did he not choose the Calhoun? Okay, cool. No, but we did choose the Calhoun, and yeah, that Madam Mim just gaining so much value from it. Hades looking for a deal. Vince extending the hand as though he were Hades himself. I love it. we're role playing here.
He's just like, would you like to concede? Yes, I would.
Yes, we'll go ahead and we'll go to game 3. That's exactly what we'll do right now. So Phantom is going to have to figure this one out. Phantom will get the opportunity now to go first. We'll be on the play for this one, which is probably where you want to be, I think, all the time. And so Phantom is going to have to figure out what are we going to be looking for. So what do you think, Wonderland? You've seen both of these decks now. If you're Phantom, what are you hoping is in your perfect 7 cards in your start of your hand?
I mean, I did kind of like the Webby on the play from that first game. Because we could get it out there, and then it's like, would you like to ramp me? Would you like to? It would have been good in that second game too had Mad Hatter's not fumbled the ramp. He's on like a new plan. He's like, I'm not a ramp deck anymore. If you were on the play and you have a Webby, that's fine. I'm not going to give it to you. Like, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way.
I'm a tempo deck now. I'm just going to pick characters on turn.
Yeah, I have no idea what Phantom's deck is really doing. It's I like it though. It's just like kind of tempo-ish control. Like we have some docks, when we have some beefy characters. It's very similar to Amethyst Steel, just without evasive cantrips. We're just playing Emerald Beef.
Yeah.
Splash a ramp. Just good cards. It's just like all the best cards in these 2 colors if we're trying to be tempo oriented.
Certainly. I mean, we saw the Laureates, of course, which helps into those evasive wars a little bit. It makes making decisions with the evasive characters a little bit weirder. We did see a little bit of that. Unfortunately, not so much in game 2. Vince was kind of able to run away with the evasive wars, with or without the Lawrences in the deck. But yeah, it does feel like it's more of like a reactive strategy from Phantom's side, like a deck that kind of deals with problems that exist and less so much about like worrying about having a path forward, at least not one that we've seen. It's more about like saying, hey, well, you need to, I will deal with you, and then eventually I will get to 20. All right, the mulligan, of course, the altar phase, the most generous of any game, having to decide now how many we send back. Vince sending back 5 cards, and Phantom sent back 1, I believe, if my eyes do not deceive me. So Phantom kind of indicating that he's got the hand he wants, and potentially cleaning it up just a little bit. No, sorry, it was 2. My apologies. It was 2 cards, not 1. But still, not too bad. Not a bad altar. Saying, hey, my hand's not too bad. I'm probably got a good curve here, and I'm probably going to clean up and make sure I have the inkables that I need to deal with it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely looking kind of favored for Vince. I feel like if his deck gets to do everything he wants, but if Phantom has like what he designed his deck to do, I'm assuming it's geared to beat Blurple. Snowfort does some work.
Yep.
And if he gets 2 of them in play, pretty good.
Holy smokes, yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be bad at all. I couldn't be too mad at that, as we see, both players now situating themselves. Phantom, of course, as we mentioned, will be going first this time, which is the benefit of losing your previous game. And Phantom and Vince, to both players, good luck, as we see a Black Heron hit the Inkwell to play a Webby Vanderquack, something we've seen now 3 times back to back. A first turn Webby Vanderquack, a pretty common story here for Phantom.
Well, let's see if we can continue the story of shifting Webby on turns 2 or 3. As you were saying, it's been we got it.
Wow.
I think Vince has the ramp this time.
Yeah, I can't put my finger on it. I don't know. I don't know if he does or doesn't. But I'm going to take a wild guess here with you, Wendelin. I think we're both going to bet the same way.
What if he doesn't?
That's a mad lad. Then Vince is a mad lad if he doesn't. As we see Calhoun making its entrance. So no shift on 2 here. However, that's fine because a shift on 3 would still be pretty cool for that Webby.
I wonder, it's probably not right, but I wonder if there's a crazy world where you just quest with Webby and being like, yeah, I don't have it, but I would like to eat your Royal Guard with my Calhoun for free and gain 2 lore.
Oh.
And then they ramp, and then you shift and have it.
I'd be so in. That'd be yeah.
I feel like they have to challenge it, right? You just have to challenge it.
Like on the off chance that they have the shift or that they draw into it.
Or that they draw, yeah.
Holy smokes. As Tipo is the ramp of choice, puts pressure on the hand, but hey, ramp is ramp. And Vince is probably happy to have it considering he did not have it last game. So can't be too mad at a Tipo.
I think there's plenty of people who get quite mad at Tipo.
Yeah, I'm sure Sky felt some kind of ways about Tipo after Richmond.
I think it hurt JD more than it hurt Sky.
JD was like broken. He was like laying on the floor. He was laying on the grounds of the convention center. It was a sight to be seen.
Poor grown boy. He's all grown up, winning DLCs and everything.
He's so big. We're so proud of our young growing boy. As Phantom places a Lexington into the Inkwell and plays Lexington. No shift, yeah. So we do not see the shift. But maybe Phantom heard Wonderland and was like, you know what? I like what you said there. Maybe I'll bait you into eating this thing so I get some 2 free lore and see what happens.
Definitely has the shift for next turn.
Confirmed. 100% confirmed. Spoilers to everybody. Expect a Webby.
The problem here is I would have much preferred to do this the other way around. Mostly because we've already seen Sven do so much work that it's like we do have to try. Playing around rush evasives is not fun.
No. I mean, here's the thing. Let me ask you this, because I think that there comes a point where you kind of have to, like, your way around is sometimes through, right? Like sometimes you just have to say, you know what, I'd rather eat it now, and I'd rather you take this smaller character. However, we do see Genie instead. But if you do have it, I feel like sometimes the answer is to walk through it.
If you can, like the Lexington being able to then challenge back there would be pretty good. Depending on how many cards Phantom has in his hand, he really needs to get under 3 cards.
Yeah.
He needs to be able to ready that Lexington if Elsa exerts it. Oh,
okay. Thunderbolt dealing with the genie.
I
So
told you he had the shift, by the
he
way.
did, but he wanted a singer. He wanted a singer. He said, "I need somebody who's going to sing this," and the Thunderbolt. So, oh my goodness, as
5 cards in hand, and tell me there's 2 ink there.
there, there's
I
4 about. We're about to
He
go
has
to
5
5
cards in hand, and I do not think he inked.
I don't think so either. No, there is. Yeah, you're right. He did not ink. Interesting choice.
That is
Phantom
crazy.
either forgot or potentially does not have an inkable to put into the ink, which is crazy with 5 cards in hand.
If
If
I
he
was
actually
Vince,
did
I'd be
not.
terrified. All right, I would be like, oh no, oh yes, oh no, oh yes, because it's like he has nothing or he has all removal.
Right.
Like,
Oh goodness, yeah. And I'm scared to find out. Oh wait, no, it's 2 cards in hand. It's 2 cards in hand.
oh, that makes way
Yeah.
more sense.
Phantom
Way
proving to
more.
us why that rule is a thing. You should not be using the dice to indicate the cards in your hand.
But we
Oh,
do change the rules just a little bit for the ICL
Yeah.
to try to help the viewers and us casters, because as you're telling, we're trying to guess how much ink. Sometimes when the sleeves are on top of each other, it's a little difficult to know. But this makes
Yes.
much more sense why we did not ink. Most likely we have, say, dock and another removal, like maybe another strength. We're not going to want to put that into the inkwell.
Correct.
We're still in a weird spot. Elsa could come down, and then we basically trade Royal Guard with Webby and stack some damage and be like, all right, next, which then the next turn, Cheshire, I can't remember.
Cheshire, like pressure.
Cheshire under Cheshire, which is true, because when she
Yeah.
comes out, when
I think it's he.
he comes out, he's moving that damage. And that Calhoun, shouldn't have been messing with Jolene's man, because Jolene's going to put 2 damage on you and take you out with the Cheshire Cat.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we see the Hypnotic Strength to draw a card here. Inking the Elsa. And opting
that's
to
enough.
use the Royal Guard to handle that Webby. Interesting choice here, inking that Elsa.
I would just imagine that we drew the Elsa off of that, because
of the Hypnotic.
Yeah. Well, I guess we have Lexington in play, so
Yeah, maybe it's not as powerful as it
drawing
could be.
the extra card is just better.
Yeah, and a snow fort I think would punish you there too. Like, so imagine if Phantom has a snow fort, that would be a really big Lexington to deal with that Elsa. So maybe Vince knows and is okay with not playing that Elsa, because maybe something better's coming.
I did miss what Phantom inked there, but he did then play a Webby and quest it out. Let's turn this phone on silent.
As we see Vince currently in the tank, of course, thinking about what we're going to do. What do we ink? What do we play? Vince having to make some decisions here. Currently sitting with a Tipo on the table on Vince's side, so a little bit slower, not as many characters as you'd like to see if you were Vince. Phantom having enough characters on the table. He's got a Webby, which could get some value here next turn. You've got the Calhoun, which Tipo is just so scared of, and Lexington just waiting for an evasive character to come down to deal with, but nothing yet. We are going to go ahead and turn 3 sideways to play a Cheshire Cat, but no damage to move things around with, at least not yet. As Vince says here, I'm going to show you have Cheshire Cat, and it's going to be your turn.
So if that Lexington wasn't in play, that Elsa into Cat would have been devastating. But because of that Lexington, making it that if they went for, we're a Gigi girl and a Lexington lad.
Why do we have to choose? Look, why do we got to choose? Why? ¿Por qué no los dos? Why not both? As we love to see it. And I believe that's is that the white rabbit?
Dock and strength! Dock and strength! And Snow Fort!
You called this. You said that this would be the 2 cards in his hand. That's why he didn't ink. You called it.
I called 1 card. Well, maybe. He was down to 1 card on his last turn. I think it was the Dock, and I think he just drew Gigi, inked it, played Dock, drew into Snow Fort and Strength. Possibly. Maybe there's... I think that middle chunk is 2 ink.
Yes.
But that's not right. I do think he actually needs... Oh, that's not a Snow Fort. That's why. Here, I'll show you what it is. It is a white rabbit.
The White Rabbit. I had a feeling. See, I know some of these white balanced cards here. I know some of them. White Rabbit, for those of you who don't know, has which, by the way, great job with the promo art. Love it. It is the underdog, and it has evasive, a 2/2 with evasive that you sometimes can play for 1 cost if you're going second, which is pretty cool if you ask me.
I need to pay more attention to chat. They had caught it before I did. Once again, Markov in chat. I didn't even know. I did catch it on my own, but too late nonetheless.
See? That's what you get for not listening to the chat, folks. That's what you get.
There's the Sven.
Sven. Oh, big Sven here. Of course, to deal with the Webby.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot. We can just trade the White Rabbit with the Sven, or just put 2 damage on the Lexington, which might be better, honestly. But if another cat comes, that's a little scary.
Yeah,
we're just drawing all the Webbies.
Yeah, hey, Webby's out. Webby's doing stuff. Oh,
Spooky Sight would be hilarious.
Oh my gosh, Spooky Sight would be devastating. As we see, yeah, Phantom saying, "Hey, I've got the high ground here. I'm gonna go ahead and just start questing. You're gonna have to deal with me as I go to 10."
So, what's your opinion on live action movies in Lorcana? No, keep it out. We don't want that. Or do you want to see like? Or how about this? Would you be fine with the Clone Wars cartoon? Or do you think that's too far apart?
No, I think that'd be fine. I think for Star Wars particularly, that's okay. I think because they've established that you can have canon and do both, like live action and it's the same continuity. But you're saying like redo it with live action. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I was just wondering. Well, the first is like, would you want regular Star Wars, and then you go into all the Disney live action movies, right? Like, where's our Mary Poppins character? I guess a real question: what about Mary Poppins? Because that's literally on point Disney animated film, beloved by so many people. But do we get a live action Mary Poppins, or do we just get an animated variation of her?
Yeah, I saw as a concept. So as a concept, I think live action is fine. I just want it to be I'm more concerned with it being a good adaptation. You know, like if it's so. Like I'll give you an example. I thought that Aladdin was okay. I thought that Aladdin was a perfectly fine live action adaptation. I like that film. But I just don't want it to don't make it for just like making its sake. Like let it be different enough and let it resonate with the kids and the adults of like the current time. And just be its own thing too.
Well, I was meaning in Lorcana.
Oh,
that's what I mean. Is just like, so how would you do with Mary Poppins? Like, because they're pictures of people, would we just get animated versions of the Mary Poppins characters that were live action?
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying. Oh.
And Vince has just chained a couple Hades in a row to get back, but Phantom hit that snow fort.
To answer the question, I would say I would say that I think pictures are fine. I think pictures are okay.
But you'd be fine with a picture of the actress from Mary Poppins on a.
I'd be fine. I would be fine with that, but I would also appreciate art. Like I would also appreciate it being drawn because they are glimmers. These are if they're coming.
These are different, right? Yeah,
they're different. So I'd be perfectly fine with either. Wow, 19 on that side as we see that snow fort just kind of doing its thing and the Hades standing alone. But my goodness, Phantom may have just taken this. Everyone, you might want to go ahead and start building your Emerald Steel decks because apparently it beats Blurple.
Yeah, I mean, we drew the card, like the Webbies we needed to get. We have 1 billion ink. Like, that's just because the Webbies, like, were triggering. We don't even need it all. But it's just like a nice tempo thing that Snow Fort kind of seems to be doing a good job of not letting these mid-range decks get it. And as you said when the interviews, like, people want to watch, or the Blurple players love Snow Fort. So, it's only fair to watch Blurple lose to Snow Fort.
Yeah, there you go. The Blurple play. In fact, Vince was one of the players who told me that they like Snow Fort. Vince was one of the people I interviewed last week. so
that's
Vince
too good. That's too good.
Yeah. So we want to ask. So J-Bomb, ask Vince what he thinks about Snow Fort now. Okay. Let's see what his answer is this week.
That's brutal.
Phantom closing that deal. with the Emerald Steel strategy with a snow fort. You love to see it. One of my favorite things about the ICL is that you get to see all kinds of strategies, because in order to fit into that 3-person situation, you've got to be able to flex a little bit, and that is certainly one way to do it. And yeah, congratulations to the Inknights as they take this game 2. That's putting them 1-1. Yep, that puts them 1-1 right now, which means this game 3 matters, my friend. And I'm so excited to see how this game 3 winds up. It's gonna be crazy.
I heard everyone loves dogs more than anything else. So I
So I
will
heard you
do
like
my
dogs.
best to find a dogs matchup for everyone to watch. That's
Fairy Queen Tink says, "I do not love dogs anymore." In the chat. Oh my goodness.
But let's pop over here,
Ooh,
and we're gonna
Forest.
see some nice things happening. Let me.
All right, we see dogs versus Blurple on the table here. Forrest, I actually met Forrest is from Florida, so one of the Florida people, Florida person.
Florida man,
So
Florida
man.
people,
Yeah, I guess technically I'm Florida man, but
Floridians,
yeah, Floridians. But Forrest, a
Floridians. There you
great
go. Yeah,
person, met
perfect.
him down at the SSG. Rest in peace. And he actually came to a few of those events, and just such love to see him in
Oh,
the ICL as a member of Additional Inc. And I think I may have been just bounced in and out there. Testing, can you hear me?
I can.
Nice. I don't know how much of what I was said was heard, but I was just saying I love Forrest. Good dude.
Hold on a second. This is not WEP playing though.
Oh no. Alrighty.
So what is
All right. So
going on here? I
and
think
while you're fixing that up, I mean, we see the board state as it currently sits. We see dogs with doing dogs things in terms of the board state. We see Forrest sitting, which may or may not be Forrest, sitting with Basil and an elephant, a Madam Mim elephant to be precise. Both players debate, or rather, Wep debating, and potentially Wep or whoever that may be, debating what they're going to do with these characters here. We see decisions to start questing, thinking that we might have the ability to do that, as going full sideways, full quests for the dogs player here, which jumps them from 0 to 8 at the moment for the secret Lorcana testing crew. Forrest revealing a Rafiki for that Daisy trigger. Donald's looking for her date, and maybe it's Rafiki. Who knows? All right, so Forrest now going to decide how do we muscle through this. This is a tough spot to be in. You've got 2 characters. Do we have a way to start dealing with this board? Can we start playing an Elsa, potentially start clearing out things like the Grandmother Willow, and then if that Elsa survives the following turn, can we sing Let It Go? Can we put ourselves in a better spot in order to not be overwhelmed and just tackled? Which, by the way, being tackled by puppies sounds like the coolest thing ever. I'm so in
it does
to like
sound
go.
like a nice thing.
Yeah, like I would totally go to like a place where you can buy puppies and just say, hey, can you just like send all the puppies and just like let them jump on me? Because I'd be so in for that. It'd be so cool. Oh, is this Fumbles? Are we watching Fumbles play?
Yeah, but he's not supposed to be playing right now.
Oh, cool.
So we'll see what happens of that later. Oh, well, nope. Apparently, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. It is Web, but he's playing on Fumble's Discord. So that makes
Nice.
way more sense.
Yes, I can relate. As a having been on the ICL, I used to go to the other teammates' houses, and we used to make events of it. So Fumbles having a party at his spot, and Wep is totally invited. And so we see the decision to we played the the 5-cost lady, brought back what I believe was a tramp. We do see some math being done in Wep's kind of head there, like counting through what it would look like if we were to just start turning things sideways. Wep deciding whether that's the right call here or not. Thinking through it, opting to ink a rhino, play the tramp. Okay. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot. That's a lot of strength to be applied here. So we've got that tramp that is going to give +5 strength to something. Web deciding on where it's going to go. Trying to do some math here. Trying to deal with that elephant, which is a great option here. Giving it to the street smart dog, which does clear that Madame Mim elephant. Good use of that card. Good use of that tramp. Both tramps rather. As Web feeling safe enough to say, you know what? Oh wait, maybe not. Oh, nope. Debating. That we're still debating. Web trying to decide, does the math favor them? Oof, Web's not sure. Opting to use the Daisy Duck to clear that Basil, leaving us with a Tipo on the board, and then questing, I believe, if I'm correct there, with the Nani and the... Yep, questing going to 10. All right, so there you go. So Web taking advantage now of the fact that Forest is just not... really like the board right now is not in Force's favor. You normally would expect there to be a lot of really big characters, but that tramp clearing out that Madame Elephant, kind of a big deal. We are left with the Tipo again on Force's side. So what will Forrest do to climb out of this and be able to muster through this? That's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting to see as Forrest makes some of the decisions here. All right, looks like it's a Cheshire Cat plus a boost.
All right, so a little bit of clarification here. Apparently this is round 3 for them, and they started a little bit early, a little mishap there. So I am actually here in a second going to be popping out, or Gabe it. Do you want to cast again, Gabe? I'll let you. If you want to sit here and go again, I will let you. Otherwise, I'm going to pop you out. Your choice.
I'm down. Sign me up.
Right.
I'm here, buddy. I'm here with you.
Right.
I'll listen. You kick me out of here, I'm gonna go turn it on Twitch and watch it. So I'm here.
But I'm gonna get our other caster here in a second if their camera turns on. There we go. Okay, they're here. So it'll be one moment, and I'll swap that up for you. It does look like Wep took game number 1 there.
Yes.
And I'm probably gonna pump us back to the main table we were watching as well, because that has not gone. So I'm going to pop us back to the booth. We did get to see one game of them, and, that's fine. Sometimes a little mistake like that gives us a cute little thing. And then they finished that whole game because they started a little early. This match, they're on 1-drops right now. I'm going to pop us in. Well, oh my goodness, I thought I had already I didn't press the transition button.
No worries. Look, you've got so much. This is exactly why I need to stay in, and you get out of here and you do all the magic that you do.
Do the actual, do some production values.
Do the magic. Yeah, be the production person, and yeah, fix the words and stuff as we get our friend in here in just a little bit.
The words and stuff.
Fix the words and stuff. Yeah, I talk good. I don't know if you know that, but I talk good.
Yeah, me too.
Chatters, let us know you're here. You're hanging out with us. 85 people hanging out with us on Twitch right now, watching Lorcana on a Tuesday night. We see Bobby put in the chat. Let's go SLTC. Meyer, of course, I believe Meyer is playing right now, or unless somebody else is playing. But Meyer was in the chat and probably ran to go play if he's playing now. So for those of you that are in the chat hanging out with us, we love you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you can. Follow us if you're not already doing that. We want to make sure that you get notified every single time as my friend got popped in. So we're gonna give you a chance. Yeah, you go. You are on cam.
Ooh.
I know. Surprise! You just been dropped in, dude.
That's all right. I like to just kind of show up.
You know what? I'm the same.
How's it going?
I'm living my best life. Why don't you go ahead and let the people know who you are before we jump into this game?
Well, everybody should already know who I am, but if you don't, I'm Tomas, also known as the Stone Dragon guy. You've probably seen me around. Yeah, that's it, man. Stone Dragon, that's where it's at.
Stone Dragon hanging out in the loungers chat. Love to see it every single day. If you're not in there, too bad. Only the cool people get to hang out
Yeah,
there.
sorry.
As we get ready very soon, and we get to go into this game 3. So, talk to me, Tomas. Did you get a chance to see those first 2 games?
Ooh, I'll be honest, I did not get to see any of the first one, and the second
okay.
one I was trying to watch, but my camera was going haywire. But I
No,
got the
don't worry.
vibes. The vibes felt like they were great.
They were pretty crazy, and we've got Baymax over on Inknights side versus Rick with the Mad Hatters, which means we will get to hear Myers more in the chat. Myers sadly says he's sadly driving back from Disney World. I hope you're not the one driving while you're texting, Meyer. And you were, yeah, and the screens will be fixed in just a moment, folks. So don't worry about that. We will be fixing the screens. But Meyer, you were in Disney World. You should have let me know. And I was actually up there this weekend. We could have hung out, and that's what you get for not letting me know. All right. So both
Crazy.
players, we see Amethyst Steel on Baymax's side with a pretty solid start for Amethyst Steel. It looks like we've got Rick doing blurple things. We see that Madam M Elephant. Oh, there you go. So it's been adjusted. We see Baymax with an Madam M Elephant, which we've seen a few times. So Tomas, let me ask you, what are your thoughts on Madam M Elephant in Blurple? Is that a card that belongs? Is that like a tech option? Should this be part of the strategy all the time?
That's a pretty good question. I mean, previous the last couple sets we saw a lot more of that card, and then I think it fell out of favor pretty heavily, but now people have been picking it back up in the last week or two. I mean, it's synergy with the boost cards, obviously still as strong as ever.
Yeah.
If you're expecting a lot of the mirror match, or especially a lot of steel decks, it's really good there. Really hard for steel to deal with. My favorite deck, dogs, doesn't really care about it as much, but against everybody else, that 3/7, ooh,
Yeah.
that does some work.
It's pretty solid. 3/7's pretty good, it turns out. Not a bad stat line at all when you think about some of the things that you're dealing with potentially over here. We see a Black Heron in the discard pile for Rick. That's a great card for that. We see that Captain Hook as well. We also see that Yzma, which I also find interesting. That Yzma making its return back in Winter Spell. It kind of went away at like middle to the back half of the Whispers format, but we see that making its return. In some cases, even replacing cards like Dumbo, which I always find interesting too.
Yeah, I mean, especially now we have cards like Angel, and there's just like a lot of battling going on. If you can empty out your hand, that Yzma draws so many cards.
Yeah, Yzma pretty darn good, it turns out, when you're able to use it.
Oh yeah, if you can activate it once, your opponent is already sweating bullets, and if Yzma gets to draw you up another set of 3, I don't even know what you do at that point.
I think you just accept that this is your life now, and then you just have to kind of move forward that way. It's just you got to be okay with it, and just hope for the best in game 2.
Yeah, you go to your happy place, close your eyes, hope it's gone when you open them.
It's not real. It's not real, and Yzma can't hurt me. She can't hurt me. As we see Baymax putting down that Cheshire cat rather. Yeah, just kind of we see a pretty common board state for Blurple here. A Basil, the Elephant. We see a Cheshire cat. We're entering into some of the more scary turns as we ink a Royal Guard. Not quite at that magic number 7 yet. We're at 6. Which means Demona has made her way onto the field. So that Demona kind of big right now.
Yeah, and notably, we got 6 ink for Blurple, but only 4 ink on the other side. So it looks like didn't draw any cards from that Demona. That was a fully one-sided Demona, which always hurts so bad.
Yeah, and that Demona represents just a complete devastation of Rick's board, left with a lone genie to just kind of fend for itself, with a second genie to boot. So Rick is opting to win the sky battle. We've got 2 evasives on the table, 2 Baymax's none, but Strength of a Raging Fire in play here now after slinging it with the genie to get rid of that Cheshire cat.
Ooh, I like that quite a bit. Obviously, feels a little bit like a desperate play whenever you have the strength for 2, But the combination of the cat and the elephant on the other side, just being able to move 4 damage a turn, means these genies aren't going to last very long at all.
No, they really are not. And so Rick is going to have to deal with that elephant much sooner than later. It's being able to fire off that Strength of Raging Fire was fine. Cheshire Cat is a scary card, so you can't much blame him for doing that. But we already see the elephant doing elephant things, sending away 2 damage back to the genie. If Rick can get himself a Cheshire Cat and potentially rebalance control somehow, or figure out a way to solve this problem, that'd be great. But we see Sven, oh no, not Sven, with the evasive and the rush, dealing with the perfectly healthy genie, leaving them with a genie with just 2 damage, just hanging out all by themselves.
Yeah, I mean, answering one problem and another one comes rushing in right after. I mean, this Sven, nobody's gonna stand up to my boy Maui, but it feels pretty similar.
Yeah. Oh, dude, imagine if Maui had evasive. How frightening! Oh my gosh! Let's play Infinity and let's put Magic Feather on a Maui. How's that? Let's do that and see what happens.
That sounds great to me.
Sign me up for one of those. Oh my goodness! As poor Rick is just trying to figure out what do we do? How do we get out of this? I mean, is it too late? Can we solve the mystery of getting out from underneath the control of this Blurple deck? Amethyst Steel generally has a hard time with this, as we fire off the lamest, weakest Strength of a Raging Fire, but it's good enough because it does deal with a Sven as we play Demona.
Yeah. I mean, Genie doing his best mosquito bite impression there, but sometimes
exactly.
1 damage is all you need.
Listen, if it's all you need, it's all you need. Like, let's not get greedy here. Like, if it takes care of a Sven, we're in for that for sure. Oh goodness!
Man, this elephant getting so much value.
That's crazy. Just went from 4 damage. So having more than half of its willpower in damage to now being completely healed, having dealt with a genie. Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about value? There is value. That 4 cost and that bouncing back of a character, well worth the price of admission on that Madam Elephant.
Yeah, something tells me this elephant is going to be sticking around for quite a while still. And the Elsa just helping clear out this Demona too. It's like every single time, the purple steel deck can put something into play, there's 2 answers ready to go.
This is just tough to watch. I mean, like, this is so rough. It's funny because like yeah. And so yeah, just there might be a little bit of a judge question here for just 1 second. A little bit of a question here, so we're making sure that we are getting that correct. So yeah, so we are solving for it right now, guys. Don't worry. Thank you, chat. We're working through that now. But yes, as they work through that, Demona, of course, makes things very, very crazy sometimes as they are solving for that. Yep, they're fixing it. Judge is aware and they're fixing it, chat. So don't worry. And thank you again for those that are in the chat. Can't do this without you guys. Thank you all. We love you so much. Chat is 100% the hero.
This just goes to show the best answer to a Demona is basically just always your own Demona.
Yeah. It's funny because when the card was first revealed, there was like a question of like, how does Demona work? And what we were learning is it's not the first Demona, right? It's the second one. Whoever fires up the second Demona is the one that wins from that transaction.
Oh yeah, and if we're playing these purple mirrors, sometimes it's the 3rd and 4th and 5th Demona.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh, those are just the worst matches. My goodness. Crazy. All right, I believe so I think we're back in progress here. We see a genie making its way onto the table. We paid for that genie. We drew a card for that genie. We're going to ink a giant cobra, which you always hate to see, but we got to do it as we play Pocahontas following the win and a Captain Hook. We're trying to catch up. We're trying to say, hey, well, if you are going to do click to remove type stuff, if you're going to try to deal with my characters one at a time, then I'll just do what Amethyst Steel does so well, and I'll just put down 3 characters, and then let's see what you come up with from there.
Oh yeah, and I mean, especially in the face of a Blurple deck that's gotten to this stage of the game, like usually there's not a lot you can do other than just turn up the heat and hope it's enough to keep the pressure on.
Yeah. They say that the best answer against Blurple is to just go wide, and Amethyst Steel is trying to do that. But boy, oh boy, Baymax not really letting that be the case. We are going to go ahead and sing that Let It Go. We're going to play a Hades. So dealing with problems, 2 problems now in this single turn. And then Baymax just saying, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and keep running this race while you are just so far behind with a Pocahontas and a Captain Hook left on your field, Rick.
And once again, this elephant just being a huge body on the board. Not really any good trades to be had. Just questing out here is still keeping you in a pickle. So see how he chooses to navigate from here.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough going. We are going to go ahead and play a Demona, which will keep that Demona locked because Baymax will be drawing up to 3 cards there. Rick hoping to do something with these additional cards. Let's see if the Demona gives us anything that can keep us in this game as we play a Calhoun and an Olaf. All right, there you go. So again, just trying to keep up with the board. But is this too little too late, Tomas? What do you think? Is this too little too late?
We love you, YouTube, too. Don't worry.
I mean, it might be. An army of uninkable 2-cost 3/2s and some 1-drops. Certain games that's good, but when we're staring down, this much fat from the Blurple deck, like as we see here, we're having to trade off 2 characters just to clear that Hades. So, sort of clawing our way back in, but definitely still haven't stabilized.
Oh yeah, and just when we think we're going to stabilize, Baymax is coming in and dealing with it. And I do want to shout out our YouTube viewers as well. I know we love YouTube as well. Just to make sure you all know that too. We are paying attention to you there too. Alrighty, so Baymax sitting here looking like it's pretty solid in favor here, but the game's not over. This game is not over yet. There's still a game to be had. Rick can still climb out of this hole. Amethyst Steel has done so in worse conditions. Will we be able to climb out? Baymax is going to say, I don't want you to. And we're going to turn 4
Yeah,
cards sideways to play a Genie.
yeah. At this point, I mean, all Baymax is really trying to do is just kind of keep the game looking the way it is. I mean, being ahead on lore, ahead on board, that's exactly where you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you are Baymax is in control of this board. Baymax is saying, "Hey, I'm controlling the pace of this thing. I'll keep playing characters out. If you turn any of these things sideways, you're still not going to be that close to winning. I can deal with them, and I can continue to quest." If I'm Rick, I'm probably already thinking about what game 2 is going to look like for me, and maybe my brain's not so much in game 1. But that's the difference between me and Rick, Tomas, is that Rick is better than me and is going to try to fight this one out and see if we can get off underneath this thing. As we go to
Well,
14.
hey, I mean, don't sell yourself short. The other difference, he's not in here hanging out with me. You got that
That's
going
true.
for you.
That's true. That's true. This is actually a really good point. This is a good point. And now my world is better. And thank you for being here, Tomas. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, the quest up to 14, that really stings. I don't know what combination of cards you're looking for here, but if there's one thing I've learned, you can't ever count out the deck that's got
No.
Demonas and Docks, but it's definitely uphill from here.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, we've got game on board. The story is pretty much locked in unless we can deal with what's going on. So Rick now being put in a check situation, we either deal with Baymax with what's currently on board, or we have to just wrap this up and go to game 2. But never a good spot to be in when we're kind of like in these final phases of these Lorcana games where you're constantly being put in check. You're in a bad spot, especially when you're so far behind. You haven't even started collecting lore. You're trying to keep up. It feels like you're just climbing an uphill battle. as we see the Demona coming in to challenge the Madame Elephant, but still not enough to deal with it, and really to deal with all of the pressure on the board for the lore.
Oh yeah, and just once again pointing out, if I'm not mistaken, this is the 9th point of damage that this elephant has taken this game, and it's still hanging around just fine. I think once this game is done, if someone wants to put in the work, I'd love a TikTok edit of just all this elephant's highlights because that's feeling like one of the MVPs to me.
100%. Yeah, you're not kidding. That elephant. Baymax is probably saying like, "I'm glad I put this thing in." I was calling it a tech option
Oh yeah,
at the beginning of this game, and I'm sorry. Baymax is like, "You're crazy. This thing belongs here. This is as much a member of this family as Sale or Tipo. You hear me?"
yeah. This is a load-bearing elephant. This is the one that on HGTV they're always trying to knock it down to expand the kitchen.
Yeah, don't do it. You need that wall. You don't do it. You need it. We see Rick. I love it. As we see Rick hanging out and saying, "Yep, it's listen. Let's just wrap it up. Let's go to game 2. There's more game to be played. You got this one, but I'm gonna hopefully Rick is gonna get the next 2." As Meyer is probably screaming in that car halfway back home from Disney World.
Oh, that's all right. Next game, clean slate. Purple Steel is never out of it. So hopefully we can have a stronger start here and turn up the heat a little bit more on this Blurple deck.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Rick is certainly going to be able to figure out, hopefully, from being on the play here, and really like that's it's certainly being on the play is a huge advantage. Amethyst Steel can be fast enough. We did see the Pocahontas in there. I'm curious if Rick is also playing something like the new magical researcher genie that gains a lore every time you boost. That would certainly help to get Rick underneath and just running the race against Baymax here, and then getting into a game 3 where he's going to have to figure out how do you climb out of that mountain, or climb up that mountain rather, from the draw position. But I think Rick's in a good spot here, assuming, of course, I don't jinx him and he doesn't brick here with his opening hand.
Oh, that's all right. I can feel it now. It's going to be 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, genie, strength, strength, strength.
Yeah, it's a 1 through 4 drop. It's a strength, and you didn't know this, but a thunderbolt too. All this and more. All this and more waiting for Rick at the start of this game. I'm going to send those good jujus over, and hopefully that's what we get.
But I don't know. We might see what we saw last game, and the elephant's just going to sit over there, and he's going to gobble all those strengths right up.
That could be too. Yeah, you're not wrong, and that'd be that'd be terrible. Oh, poor Baymax. It thinks that we love you, Baymax. We do not hate you. We promise. We just want there to be a game 3. Okay, it's not that we don't like you, Baymax. Once we get to game 3, all right, all bets are off. Then either of you can win, and we'll be fine. But we want to see a solid conclusion from this thing. So no offense to you, Baymax, but for game 2, I'm gonna go ahead and root for Rick. In game 3, I'll be neutral.
Yeah. I mean, the best Lorcana is always more Lorcana. So game 3 is what I'm hoping for too.
Yeah. One of my favorite things I ever heard at a tournament. So I was casting a tournament in Miami, and Wochuk was there, and his opponent was trying to convince him to ID. And Wochuk said, I think one of the greatest lines in Lorcana history. He said, "I came to the Lorcana tournament to play Lorcana." That's what he told his opponent.
Yeah.
And so so they went and they played Lorcana. So there you go.
I mean, that's why you show up, right?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I will never forget that. It's burned in my head. And if anybody ever asks me to ID, I'm going to tell them the same thing. I'm going to say, I came to the Lorcana tournament to play Lorcana. Let's go. All right, we see we're in the altar here. I didn't catch how many Baymax altered. It looks like Rick did 4 or 3, 4 3. So somewhere in the middle.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't catch it at all. I'm still thinking about that elephant.
That elephant was pretty bad. It was pretty scary. I don't blame you. Yeah. I'm sure Rick is thinking about that elephant too. I mean, we're talking what you said 9. Was it 9 damage at the end of everything? No, even more, because it had to take more damage to finally get taken off the board. So it was more than 9. It was like in the double digits finally before it was dealt with.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, I think it took at least at least 11 or 12 total before it was off the board.
Yeah. And Lorcana spins in the chat. I came to win, not split pricing. Absolutely. You see, just following that sentiment, I agree with you, bud. And Lorcana Spins maybe doesn't remember this, but I played against Lorcana Spins at a DLC actually. I don't know if he remembers it. If I'm correct, we played paper rock scissors. Yeah, we played paper rock scissors with glasses or with cards rather. So you had like paper rock scissors cards, which was pretty cool. And we see Basil, and we see a palace guard entering the fight here. Both characters kind of starting off what you'd expect. Do we have a 2-drop? Of course we do. Why don't we? And it's Christopher Robin. What a 2-drop from Winterspell with Underdog.
Classic showdown here.
Yeah. Now the real question here is, do we have ramp? Tomas, what is the over under on whether or not BMX has the ramp? Oh wait, he just ink sail. It's 100%. He's got it.
I think he's got it.
Yeah, that's 100. The answer is 100%. He's got it.
I mean, the real answer is we didn't see him like slam his hand down on the table after mulliganing, so that should have been our clue.
Yeah, exactly. You're not. Yeah, you're absolutely right. As Rick is having to decide now. Okay, first of all, the question is, does Rick have a 3-cost character, and then does Rick have an inkable that he wants to put down, and then will have to put down? I think making this decision is a tough one. Clearly, in the tank on turn 3 to play your 3-drop says a lot about the condition of that hand and just how good everything is, but you're being forced to ink an Olaf, which could be so good later, especially paired into something like a duck. And there's that magical researcher we were talking about earlier. Every time you boost with the magical researcher, its lore goes up by 1. A great complement with the new Pocahontas Following the Wind, which whenever you quest with her, you choose another character and you gain lore equal to that character's lore total. And so those two together is a mighty fine duo. As oh my gosh, Tomas, look
He's
who is back.
Our best friend, the elephant. But you know, got that genie. Genie can quest for a lot.
Yeah.
We'll have the stare down of the 3 strength characters. I think, man, if I'm backing a side, I think I've put all my chips behind this elephant, but Purple Steel board is looking pretty scary.
Yeah. If I'm Rick, I'm feeling pretty good about this right now. The question becomes, the difficulty, of course, is that strength right now is not as high value as it could be. This Madame and Elephant was just here designed for this turn, because even if we fire off a Strength of a Raging Fire, it would be in vain because it would not be able to deal with the Madame and Elephant. In fact, that would be the worst thing you could do, is to give that Madame and Elephant damage to send over to your friends. So Rick, of course, he could be sitting with 3 Strength of a Raging Fires, but it doesn't matter because we're not going to fire them all off, at least not right now.
Yeah, I mean, this elephant doing what elephants do, acting as a brick wall. Rick already getting the pedal to the metal, not stopping the questing anytime soon. The elephant, at least maybe causing a little bit of pause, but I mean, you don't put Christopher Robin in your deck to not turn him sideways, right?
Exactly. I mean, and not only that, but I think there's a little bit of like, hey, let's say we do have the Strength of a Raging Fire. Let's say I do. You know what? Maybe you come into this, maybe you give yourself a little bit of extra damage, and that might help me bridge the gap to be able to deal with that elephant a little sooner. However, Baymax saying, before I do all of that, I'm going to go ahead and draw a card from Genie, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of extra support in this Basil, as that Christopher Robin does not know that when you go to a zoo, you should not be petting the animals, as that Madame Elephant is dispatching of that Christopher Robin, sending it into the discard pile through that challenge.
Yeah, I mean, he read the sign that said "Don't feed the elephants." He just didn't realize he was going to be the one getting chewed up.
Christopher Robin must be from Florida, because that's something a Florida person would do. Definitely would be play with the animals. Do not play with the animals at the zoo. Please don't. Yeah,
I gotta say, Genie, Dumbo on the other side. Christopher Robin's gone, but we still got some strong threats over there.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, as somebody that finds myself playing against Blurple more often than I'm playing Blurple myself, anytime my opponent has any cards in hand and a Basil in play, I'm always scared. You never know what's gonna come out of their hand. That Basil, makes their stuff trade so well. So we might see some stuff go away here, and it will be pretty.
It won't be. I mean, that Basil and that Genie is enough to deal with the Dumbo, but I mean, Rick is essentially saying, I need to see more cards. I need to take use of this, even though it's pretty much a guarantee here that Basil and that Genie will deal with this Dumbo, unless of course Rick has a trick up his sleeves and can deal with the Genie and then force. Oh, as we see Gigi hitting the table there, maybe potentially force Baymax into an awkward situation, but it doesn't look like that will be the case necessarily, unless, of course, are we saying go or are we? Oh, let's see what he does. I'm so intrigued to see how this turn goes because I think this will be that turn that we kind of say whether like what caused which person to win or not. Like this is such a big turn right now.
Mhm. Yeah, luckily having the GG follow up, threatening to swing back in if this genie is going to take out the Dumbo, or if there's something like an Elsa to follow up. Um, these are kind of the spots that the purple steel deck really likes to set up. You have this genie that probably going to stay ready for a while unless he's forced to exert, slowly boosting while drawing an extra card every turn with the Dumbo, and just really trying to get 2 to 3 threats really ticking before Blurple can start to stabilize. And I mean, even if this board starts to get answered, he is already at 8. I am not the best at math, but I think that's more lore than he had in the entirety of the last game. So
Yeah,
that's a good start.
yeah, it's like an infinite percentage higher than what he had last time. Like
Yeah,
it's a non-real number that was used as we see
it's a lot.
Basil being quested. Interestingly, what that tells me is there is not an Elsa in hand because he's gonna have to choose the genie in order to deal with the Dumbo. So that is a pretty clear indicator that potentially no Elsa in hand. We're gonna play another elephant though. We got 2 elephants on the table. Oh
That's so
no!
many elephants.
Oh, oh, we've got pachyderms in stereo. This is crazy.
Man, speaking of percentages, that's 100% more elephant.
Yes, it is. That is so much elephant. That is like that is 14 willpower worth of elephants right now. And Rick cannot be feeling too hot about that. We've got 1 point of damage sitting on one of the elephants. And so just being able to start to control this board, Baymax is climbing up little by little. We're about to get to that magic number 7 ink where the game gets really, really crazy, where Blurple wants to be, which is above and with so much ink. Finally getting to the quest, getting to 3 for Baymax be in 3 to 8, and Rick has got to be feeling a little bit of tightness in the chest here as we see this board state.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of times, when you're staring down an elephant that only has 1 damage on it, it's not the biggest deal because, most of your stuff isn't going to go away if that gets moved. But notably, Gigi here does get a lot smaller if she's got damage on her, and a lot less threatening to crack back into an evasive when she's 2 strength instead of 4.
This is very true. That Elsa coming in, sending that royal guard sideways, and so being able to now Rick is having to do that kind of crazy math of like where do I place these challenges? I need to place these challenges effectively, or I need to maybe decide is it time for me to just go ahead and quest out and start to climb this race? So lots to think about. Rick ultimately deciding to sing Strength of a Raging Fire with the GG, which preventing it from taking any damage means it'll stay at least for the interim, a 4 strength character. I missed who we sent that strength on. I believe it was, yeah, so it was to the elephant. All right. And then, yeah, so ultimately dealing with one of the 2 elephants. We are now down an elephant, Tomas.
That's half as much elephant.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah. This is getting interesting here. So Baymax now with an elephant and a royal guard left on the board. You've got Rick, of course, with 1 character left to take action on, turning the magical researcher sideways to say, hey, you know what? That Basil is scary enough. This is what we'll do. So Rick valuing the board here as we turn all of our characters sideways, and Baymax sits with a lone elephant, a lone magical Madam Mim elephant.
Yeah, and I mean, this is one of those situations where even if this had been a little bit less advantageous to do some trading here, Rick might have still felt pressured to because when Blurple's getting up to 6-7 ink, like that's when the Demonas start coming down, and if you aren't the one exerting your characters, they might be exerting them for you. But at least in this case, we had some pretty good value trades there. The strength facilitating the knockout on one of the elephants, definitely making it a lot less awkward than if we had to send in the whole board to do so.
Yeah.
Little unfortunate that this genie was fighting instead of questing for 2 here, but gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep. Listen, an enslaved genie's got to do what an enslaved genie's got to do, and sometimes what that means is you got to challenge.
I think I had that in a fortune cookie once.
I'm telling you, I write most of those. That's actually my daytime job, is I write those fortune cookies. It was probably mine. And I may have written sailors. Who knows?
I'll be honest, I went to go eat lunch at the same place the day after, notably March 1st, and my fortune cookie was telling me about how great February would be.
Oh, how crunchy was that cookie? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. As Rick is establishing, just putting the characters down, trying to establish dominance here with the genies and the Elsas. Currently looking good for Rick here. Rick's got to be feeling okay. Of course, lots of damage everywhere. It's can still be a somewhat sensitive spot here, but can Rick win this one? Take us to a game 3, Rick. I believe in you, buddy. Baymax, of course, not wanting that. Baymax wanting to deal with this game quickly and overdone fast. The magical researcher doing some research, and that lore is going to be crazy whenever we finally get to quest with that magical researcher. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, I mean, this is the big upside of this genie here is if the rest of your characters are controlling the board, then the genie alone can quest for sometimes more than the rest of your characters combined.
Yeah.
And the elephants slowly crumbling down here. That is the kind of the one downside with these is bringing cards back to your hand means if we can answer these elephants and it's not costing too many resources, don't have a whole lot left over when the dust settles.
Yeah. And speaking of questing with that magical researcher, we do it for 3. There's 2 boosted cards underneath it, so that is a 3 quester right now. The genie kind of looking sad and lonely on Baymax's side of the board, the wish fulfilled, all by its lonesome. But we never mind. We see a second genie. So we saw elephants in stereo, and now we've got genies in stereo, as Baymax is trying to gather some ability here to run this game. Those 2 genies are, of course, going to put Baymax ahead of the evasive war, but we're too far from that. Rick is going to win this game any second now if Baymax can't figure out a way to deal with his board.
Yeah, I mean, we got quite a bit of lore pressure in play as it is already.
Yeah, we're looking at
Probably
6
gonna
right
have
now.
to start finding answers this turn.
Yeah, as we Sven, that's one way to deal with a problem. Sven coming in and just dealing with, challenging that magical researcher. I just envision this Sven just busting through a library a wall and just knocking down that poor genie while he's in the middle of his research. He's just trying to do some research, Sven. Just calm down, dude. But we still have an Elsa and a genie over on Rick's side of the board, and we have 2 genies on Baymax's side.
Yeah, and I mean, the Sven, obviously in these sorts of matchups, like you're really hoping it's going to come down, maybe take out an Elsa, stick around, take something else out. That's the really nice thing about the card is sometimes you just play it as a Dragonfire.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. That's a really, really good point. You get the value you can. Speaking of value, Demona being able to come in, draw some additional cards for Rick, a strong statted character, able to withstand some great challenges here. So Rick showing that just because he's playing Amethyst Steel does not mean that he's got characters that you could really scoff at. You've got a nice, strong Demona waiting to challenge something if need be, or just a pretty good, solid quester too.
Yeah, he's like those 3/7s. They were some pretty cool elephants, but look at my 5/6.
Look at that 5/6, dude. We love to see it as we quest all the way to 14 with our evasive characters, telling Baymax, "Come at me! I dare you. You're gonna have to figure this out because you're not gonna outrun me. You're gonna have to deal with my characters, not the other way around." Now Baymax is counting out all of the ink, which tells me that there might be something pretty hefty in hand, potentially. Maybe not, but Baymax, I'm curious. What do you got for us?
I mean, I don't want to be too greedy, and it wouldn't even really do anything here. But part of me hopes there's a Monstro. I think that would just really cap things off. Wouldn't help clear any of these evasives, but man, we've already been blessed with some elephants.
Solid play
Ooh.
here. That Cheshire Cat is real solid. The preventing the genie from having to be too hurt. As we see in Iago as well, a giant spectral parrot hitting the table. Wow, this kind of just flipped on its head a little bit here.
Oh yeah. I mean, this happens a lot in these purple heads up matches where we do a lot of trading back and forth. One player is probably starting to run away with the game a little bit, but something as simple as being the first one to get a cat, or in some cases even a bell, just being able to start moving damage around can just completely 180 the game. And Iago just is always menacing.
Yeah, yeah. Now we see Rick turning 5 sideways. That means only one thing in Amethyst Steel, and that is Elsa, the fifth spirit, Cheshire Cat being the target of that exert. We're going to go ahead and ink a Cheshire Cat of our own, and then we're going to play Pocahontas, Following the Wind. It's another, again, a card from Winterspell, uninkable 2 cost. Whenever you quest with Pocahontas, you choose one of your exerted characters and you gain lore equal to that character's lore. So, I mean, that's pretty big here. If we can, if we can't out these things, that could represent the end of this game pretty quickly, depending on what else Rick can keep on the board going into Baymax's turn.
Yeah, and just opting to continue trading, basically betting like, all right, I'm already at 14. If I can just keep trading my cards off for your cards, I think I can get something to stick long enough to get that last 6 lore. And I mean, as far as that goes, Pocahontas is pretty good at doing that.
Yep, for sure. That you're not kidding about that. That Iago, of course, coming in and dealing with stuff. It's got 5 damage on it, which tells me that you've got maximum value on that little dude. Even if we cast a spell to deal with the illusion, not too bad. Now Baymax playing Elsa. Oh, the Pocahontas, of course, the target. Not going to be able to get value from that Pocahontas. The genie is going to come in and quest for 2. Says, hey, I cannot deal with your Elsa just yet, but you mess with me and I will. I've got Baymax winning the evasive war with 3 characters to Rick's single Elsa on the board. Rick, my apologies. And there's a Dumbo as well. It was just slightly off screen. I missed that. There's 4 characters on Baymax's side of the board. As we see Doc, does Doc bring us any kind of luck here?
We'll
Okay.
see. I mean, as far as comebacks go, Doc is usually the way they start.
Oh, no,
Ooh.
Rick turned 2 sideways. I thought he had another Doc. I thought we were going to see a Doc chain, and no, instead is a Christopher Robin. Oof. Rick in a very weird spot, being forced to just deal with one of the 4 evasive characters on Baymax's side of the board. So Rick is going to have to do a little bit better than that. Going to have to learn how to top deck a little bit better than that if he wants to climb out from this and get this victory.
Yeah, and especially having to ink the Demona before playing that Doc there, seeing a couple of cards like that off the dock just makes it sting even more.
Yeah. Now, of note here, this game is getting pretty close to its time end here. We're at 17. We're approaching 17 minutes left on the clock, so they have to take considerations into a game 3 that will need to be played pretty fast. So this game is going a little bit longer than they might want necessarily, but they can still get a full game 3 in if this game can end sooner. Now, can Baymax stop that game 3 from even needing to be done? That's what Baymax wants to do. Rick is wanting there to go to a game 3. As we play Hades, oh no, the Hades dealing with another character. Rick put into another bad spot here with a Doc and a Captain Hook, not where you want to be facing down a Blurple deck, especially knowing that we're at the top end here. We're at the top heavy end of this game. So much ink on Baymax's side. Every card off the top of Baymax's threat is a potential danger to Rick winning this game.
Oh yeah, and this is where the kind of the inevitability of Blurple really starts to kick in. They don't always really slam the door in your face. When it's games like this, they're just kind of really slowly closing it while staring you down, asking how you're going to stop them.
Yeah. Yeah, I always think of like the Amethyst Steel lore gain as like elbow crawling. Like it's just crawling like one little bit at a time, but it gets there. It feels like it always gets there. And what also gets there, of course, is getting rid of that genie there with a little bit of strength, it looks like.
Yeah, it's definitely a start. still gonna have to contend with this Dumbo drawing cards and just the the big bodies from the Iago and the Hades. But I mean, Baymax, still behind on lore, still potentially plenty of game left to play.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. Yeah, this game is still can be anybody's game. We do see the Dumbo coming in and gaining some. Oh, as oh no, we're counting out our ink, and then
Oh
sending
yeah.
a Tipo into the inkwell to play.
Ooh, and
Is
an
that
Elsa.
Elsa? Yep.
Yeah, whenever your opponent starts counting out their ink that enthusiastically,
Oh yeah. I hate.
you're just wondering
Yeah.
how they got you.
If my opponent did that, I'd be like, I hate you and everything about this moment, is what I would tell them at this moment. As we see, oh no, the end of this game as Baymax does not allow Rick to get to game 3. We will not be getting that game 3, folks. I am so sorry. But Baymax is excited about that because guess what, Tomas? The Inknights take this whole day. They win. They get to celebrate, and the Inknights
Ooh.
are going to get to say that they are the victors tonight. Huge shout out to the Inknights. A huge shout out to the Mad Hatters, by the way. What a great first day on stream. Just seeing some great matchups, seeing some great gameplay. They gave us some really exciting moments. Both teams did. But yeah, it was just unfortunately for the Mad Hatters though. It didn't go the way they wanted.
Yeah, I mean sometimes that's how it goes. That's why we play the games. We got to see exactly how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, yeah, you're not kidding. And the cookie, boy, did it crumble, and it went all over the table as the Mad Hatter's tea is probably soaked in those broken cookies. Holy moly! Well, friends, let us know in the chat. I just wanted to do a quick shout out. So I know that we've got in our for YouTube, we've got a bunch of viewers in YouTube right now. We got about 50 people watching on YouTube. We've got about 85 people watching on Twitch as well. I just want to make sure you all know we appreciate you. We love you. As we get to watch, because we appreciate and love you all so much, we're gonna go ahead and jump into another game in progress. We got SP Jitter or with Ed versus Anthony right now. Anthony Alvarado. And we're going to get to see it, which is the Lords of Lore on the left side versus Never Shift, another Florida team. Gotta love it. Love Florida representing. We do see. I think right now it looks like two. Okay, fine. I think Anthony is playing Amethyst Steel as we see that giant cobra come down. Oh my goodness! And what a time to play it when you've got 14 lore on the table already. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of deja vu over here. Seeing a lot of Demonas and Elsas in play.
Yeah, certainly is. We see a Christopher Robin. Oh, is that an angel I see in the inkwell? And we hit the dock. We hit the dock,
Ooh.
folks. And a
This
Diablo.
looks like it's doing a little better.
Oh, every card in hand is useful for Anthony. Crazy. And for confirmation's sake, we are in game 3 right now. This is game 3. Anthony closing the gap here. Has 6 characters on the table with even more lore in total on board. If Ed cannot deal with this, then this is gonna be. I think we're watching the end of the game here at this point as Ed sitting. Poor Ed with just 2, but Demona has a way of making things kind of weird as we turn all of our characters sideways.
Yeah, I mean, if he's able to swing this game back, this is how it starts. Getting everything exerted so he can challenge some things down, locking down the opposing Demonas for at least a turn. I mean, that's like almost half the lore on the other side locked behind those Demonas. So we'll see how much he can end up clearing here. But like we saw, there was a Cobra that had just come down. And once your purple steel opponent is sitting at this kind of 15, 16-ish range, any more Cobras in their hand are going to be nearly lethal, if not fully ending the game. But we see some challenges here starting out the comeback. Let's see if he can finish it up.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, I think a Cobra goes a long way in changing the dynamic of this game. We do know that those Demonas are going to be locked going into the next turn because Anthony did draw 3 cards in response to the Demona being played. Oh, and we finally get confirmation that this is actually an Amethyst deck. Love to see it. which feels just, we call them amethyst mirrors basically, but amethyst is like 80% of the deck, and amber, of course, has a great way of dealing with the evasive characters with cards like the horseman strikes and things like that. But yeah, will Anthony be able to climb out of this? That's gonna be interesting.
Ooh, it
Oh,
looks like there was a pass back with the Doc and the Christopher Robin still hanging around, so that's going to be almost enough for it on
oh
its own. Ooh,
my gosh, that was devastating.
that's
Anthony,
brutal.
yeah, Anthony saying, "Hey, so cool. I win next turn to do something," and I believe Ed's going to be in a very unfortunate spot where he will not be able to do something, but we'll find
Do we
out.
have a Raging Storm?
Oh, are we at 8? Yes, I believe we are at 8. It's possible. Do we play it? Ed, tell me you have it. Tell me you have it.
I'm hoping.
It's the only thing that'll keep you in the game at this point. Ed doing the math in his head right now, thinking about, hey, okay, so what do we got to do? Thinking about the end of the sequence, and no. Oh, folks,
Oh, okay.
we have a treat. That was actually game 2. That was not game 3. I was mistaken. So we are now going to be going into game 3. There is just under 10 minutes left, as you see on the clock. So, folks, you are going to get a bonus match right now, a bonus game from this round 3. So, congratulations to all of you. That's the gift that you are all being given for hanging out with us. You're getting one more game, but can they get it done in under 9.5 minutes? What do you think, Tomas? Do you think we can do it in under 9.5 minutes?
I mean, I think we can. I love playing dogs, and sometimes you can just finish games up in 3 minutes. So I have to imagine the purple decks, 9 minutes has to be plenty, right?
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. It has to be. Please
But
be. Please be. As we see
I
Ed.
mean, if we're under time pressure, though, that's definitely going to be favoring the deck with the Christopher Robins and the Cobras a lot more than the deck with Horseman Strike and Grandmother Willow.
Certainly. Yeah, certainly. I mean, you're not wrong about that. It can definitely be quick if it really wants to be. I always joke that Amethyst Steel is oftentimes doing its worst impression of an aggro deck, and sometimes an even worse impression of a control deck. Okay. And so we see both players are now currently doing their altars. Ed doing approximately half of his hand, so about 4 of the cards in hand. With Anthony doing a little bit more than that, it looks like. They're
Mhm.
finalizing the cuts, which here in the ICL, there's a few ways you can do it. A lot of times you'll hear that the players are fine with half cuts. In this case, they're doing the more traditional choose the stack in the order for which you want them piled. And yeah, it looks like we're going with 1, 3, 2 for Anthony, and Ed choosing 2, 3, 1. A great choice. Awesome choice. I feel like that's the winning combination there.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite for sure.
2, 3. See my trick is whatever you say, I make you do it first, and then I just repeat what you said. That's what I do.
Ooh, that's a good strat. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
steal that.
it works every time. 60% of the time, it works every time. And look at that. We get to see the actual use of underdog. So Christopher Robin with the underdog ability costs 1, a quest for 2. That's a pretty solid 1-drop if you ask me, Tomas.
Yeah, that's pretty much the best way you can start the game. And I mean, we have a similar dynamic in this matchup as we do in the Blurple and Purple Steel matchup, where the deck with the ramp can sometimes accelerate out ahead, but that underdog letting you cheat on ink yourself a little bit.
Yeah, as speaking of getting some ink, we see an uninkable card in Calhoun, a great uninkable card. It's interesting because there's a bit of a conversation regarding that Calhoun. I've seen some Amethyst Steel decks say that there's just too many uninkables. There's just really no place for it. It looks like Anthony has opted to keep it in, potentially in
Ooh,
anticipation. In anticipation for a dogs deck, but we see Sven coming in and dealing with Christopher Robin. Ouch.
man. All right. I mean, talking about how great this Calhoun is over here, let me tell you about two more great uninkables, Grandmother Willow into Sven, just really cleaning up here.
Yeah, yeah, that Willow unlocking the ability for that Sven to come out a turn early is devastating. That felt terrible to see, and I'm sure Anthony felt just as bad to experience it.
Yeah, we have the cat coming down, but on turn 3, it's not able to shift damage quite yet. So might be putting a little bit of pressure, threatening to move this damage off the Sven. But just happy to play a Dumbo, keeping his own threats rolling out.
Yeah, I mean that grandmother willow just paying for itself in dividends right now. It allowed for the royal guard to come out on the same turn that we play the willow. It allowed for that Sven to come out a turn early. So much value coming out of that willow as we see a genie on the table for Anthony to draw a card. Just somewhat of a slower start for Anthony. Not what Anthony wants out of this, but it's what Anthony's going to get as we see Strength of a Raging Fire to deal with a Dumbo, which could if we were worried about Ed running away with the game, Dumbo is a good way to do that. Just continuing to draw cards and to gain
Mhm.
additional resources.
Yeah, a little awkward having to use the cat to sing it there. Especially in a position like this, like you want to keep that cat around as long as you can, and just the face
Ooh,
up Sven challenging it back. Ooh, and the Horseman strike to take out the genie too. I think we're
that's
going to see this
rough.
board condense pretty heavily, but it'll probably have quite a bit more laying around after the dust settles.
Yeah, you're not kidding here. We see that the Elanwi is about to offer some support to that royal guard so that way we can more efficiently trade. We could have lost the Sven, but why? Why lose the Sven? Sven is so good. We want that Sven for later. Let's go ahead and let's use this royal guard instead, as that lone Calhoun is hanging out all by its lonesome. And Ed with 3 characters on the table, one of which is a Sven, another one that grandmother Willow just gaining so much value. Just kidding. It's another grandmother Willow. We're going to be playing stuff real cheap next turn.
Yeah, I mean, we're already at a point that he could play a Demona and have plenty left over for whatever he draws. And I mean, this is the great thing about Sven. It comes down, if it clears something and it's not an even trade, it just gets to sit there questing for one evasively. We do see the crackback from the Calhoun, at least, shoring things up a little bit, keeping the lore trickling in. But I I'm not envious of Anthony's position here.
No, it's a rough one to be in. We have Hades, who is looking for a deal. You gotta think: is it worth it to let Anthony draw here, or do we lose that Sven? And Ed saying, nope, you can take the Sven. I need you to have less cards in your hand. All right, it's now Ed's turn. We see Genie for 2, a 2-cost
Oh my
Genie.
gosh.
Yikes! We ink the Horseman Strikes. We still have 4 because we want to play another one. Oh my gosh! So we got to play 8 costs worth of characters for 6 ink. What a value play! That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it always feels good being able to remove something with that Hades, but just passes it back, and Ed is able to immediately reestablish that evasive lore pressure and keep his hands, churning through. See what the follow up is.
It's Demona,
Right?
not
I
just
mean,
any Demona. It's an enchanted Demona. The
that's
Scourge of the
a
Wyvern Clan.
that's a pretty good Demona as far as Demonas go.
Yeah, yeah, that's a really expensive Demona, and it's going to clean up the board, which I'm sure Anthony is happy to have. If he topped that thing, I could imagine he probably sighed a relief breath. If that's been in his hand, then he's probably chuckling and laughing like an anime villain, waiting to deploy that thing and finally clean up this board.
Oh yeah, he was over there hitting him like with one of these.
Yes, Nani Deska probably chanting over there, saying something crazy like that, as we see Cheshire Cat. And yeah, I mean, we're going to go ahead and boost because why not, right? We want to see if we can potentially bounce that thing back, or maybe even if it gets dealt with in some ways. You always want to boost. People are very torn about that, whether it's worth boosting for nothing. I can tell you the math says boost, always boost. If you can do it, boost.
Yeah, and also just that little bit of damage hanging around on the Hades from the previous turn, giving a nice efficient way to clear out that Calhoun.
Yep.
Genie's questing for 4, keeping this lore tied. Ed's still holding on to this game, and it's definitely still Anthony's job to find a way back in it.
Seriously. Now, let me ask. So now we know that this color combination, the amber amethyst, is really here. Like the thing it wants to see is amethyst steel. Like that's the matchup that tends to be the favorite for amber amethyst. Are you a fan, Tomas, of the combo, or are you a fan of this more like non-combo, just like play the game build?
Um, honestly, I like both. It depends what you're expecting to play into. Just getting to play some good, clean purple mirrors is always a fun time, and getting to do it with Grandmother Willow is one of my favorite things. But honestly, I like both decks.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for me. I feel like the reason why I like the combo is because it's supposed to be the answer to your bad matchups. And if you can have an
Mhm.
answer to your bad matchup, it feels like that's the right thing to do. But Anthony, of course, saying this is supposed to be a bad matchup for me. I don't think so. I'm just gonna keep questing. And if I get to 20, then I don't care what your matchups are like, dude. I'm just gonna win the game. But of course, Ed is got so much pressure on the board. We see Demona, we see two genies, we got the Cheshire Cat, we've got that Royal Guard. So both board states right now, just kind of like in a very, very crazy spot where any one of them could lose control of this game and just completely go sideways and just be out of it entirely. The question becomes who will be the first person to do that? Did
Mhm.
Anthony Questing put him in a bad position, or did he make the right call here?
I mean, seeing the Demona come down, definitely, feeling rewarded for having been the one to choose that your characters are exerting. Um, Very timely Demona too, because an Yzma follow up here is just threatening for like a second wave of cards to come off the top. So getting to clean some things up here. And notably, Ed had plenty of ink to play that Demona and still boost on the Cheshire Cat. So really efficiently cleaning up the board here. I think this is still anybody's game, but I'm liking the side that has two genies in play while all of this has been happening for the last couple turns.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, I think you're right about that completely. I mean, I think that was a good call on Anthony's part, like anticipating that Demona, because you're right. Because had we not, Anthony would be way behind on lore right now, like way behind on lore, but be in the same spot board wise. So seeing that very heads up play from Anthony. Anthony's a great player, by the way. I've played him myself, and just such a strong player, and so always thinking about those lines as we see Hades coming in and challenging the Cheshire Cat, and then that Cobra as well coming in and questing.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Ed though, I gotta be loving the fact that my opponent is taking the time to do some challenging instead of questing all the way out, and then I am immediately 180ing my feelings when I see him drop three characters.
That's how it works here at the ICL. In the middle of your thought, you will always be told the answer when you're in the middle of a thought. So, welcome to us to the craziness and confusion that lives in my head every time I cast one of these games.
Yeah, and I mean, this is kind of the potential downside of the symmetry on Demona is sometimes those three cards are better for your opponent than they are for you.
Yeah, yeah, you're not kidding. You are not kidding. As we do the fan out, which again we talked about these cloth mats in round one with color. She mentioned that they feel horrendous, like they itch the skin. But you get to do this really cool splay thing with all your cards, where like they perfectly splay out. And so I'm always a fan of like looking like a really cool magician whenever I have one of
Yeah,
those
that
cloth
seems like
mats.
a worth it trade off to me. I
Yeah.
I am always about being able to flex over my like personal comfort.
Who personal comforts for losers. Let's look like magicians. Let's do that instead.
Yeah, exactly.
As we see Willow, very valuable card from last game, coming in here with an Elsa for 4 because of that Willow.
That is probably one of the better things you could have here. Is notably Anthony having enough ink to have deployed all those characters and still boost the genie on the previous turn means that thing was going to turn into a threat all on its own just in one turn.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, that is so true. The Demona coming in to clean up that magical researcher, revealing that there was a Cheshire Cat underneath it for the boosts, and then making sure that we separate the characters that are still wet on that side of the board. The Elsa coming in to challenge, deal with the Hades, And Ed kind of deciding, hey, do we go ahead and do we quests? There is a Lexington staring us down. Is it worth it to lose
Yeah.
one of these genies? And Ed says, yes, it is worth it to lose one of these genies. We're going to go ahead and quest with the genies.
Yeah, and I mean, in that position, you're kind of in a fork because, if you quest with the genies, this Lexington cracks back. If you don't, then the Lexington might get was basically a free challenge into the Elsa. But I mean, this game being so neck and neck, that 4 lore off the genies might be enough that it doesn't matter if this Lexington gets to trade for both.
Yep. Oh, it looks like Diablo opting to challenge into anything. Or potentially, it would have to be the Demona in this case for the evasive to draw a card. So Anthony valuing the drawing of a card to get that giant cobra, discarding the Captain Hook to gain the 2 lore. But it looks like it is not enough. And Anthony essentially showing Ed what would have been had he had just one more turn. And so Ed, it looks like, will be taking this thing.
That coming down right to the wire.
It really did. That was so close. And oh my goodness, Anthony should have nothing to be ashamed of. That was a very hard fought match. Really well played. Thank you so much, Wonderland. You're a hero for showing us that game. Thank you for letting us do that.
It
Was a
was.
good game.
I was just like, oh, we're gonna see just the end of it, and because so the players have access to the lore bot, and in doing that, they could submit who won what game, but they didn't. They did matches. So I saw 1-1 in matches. So what we did watch was actually for that match. Like they were down to the wire in game 3 of match 3 to see who's able to win this week. But yeah, it was pretty awesome that we got to see that all on. And that is one of the things we're doing differently this season. We're not doing the post interviews. Instead, we're trying to jump onto other matches. And humorously, we got to watch most of Wep's game because they accidentally started before they were supposed to. So we were able to watch that. And I was thinking it was like, I got so confused. I was just like, wait a second, this should be, or it was Fumbles playing. I was like, this should be Wep playing. And then someone was like, oh no, Wep's playing on Fumbles account. And I was like, oh, okay. But then I'm like, no, that is actually them playing, or Wep already played the round before. And so I got a little confused, but we figured it out. We'll get it ironed out. And we're just trying to see as much Lorcana action as we can for everyone.
Yeah.
But Inknights took tonight 2-1 against Mad Hatters with some great games we got to watch there. And before we raid off, because I'm pretty sure all the matches are done. Yes. So before we raid off and check someone out, why don't you tell us where we can find each of you if we wanted to see more of your lovely faces.
Tomas, you want to go first?
All right, I'll go first. Like I said, I'm Tomas, the Stone Dragon guy. You can find me pretty much always on Twitter at StoneDragon_, and then on Discord, hanging around, poking people.
Playing a different game, I swear. Each time I've gone into the lounge, you're playing a different game. They're all like popular, trending new indie games too. So it's just like, oh, I don't even need to buy these games. I can just come in here, watch you play while I'm playing other things.
It's the best way to prep for a tournament. Like, why play Lorcana?
I mean, Sailor and Zen were at the desk next to my bed in the hotel room. I'm laying on the bed playing TFT. Colors Law is like sitting on the other bed playing TFT. So like, you got to support your friends with video game vibes. That's just like how it goes.
Yeah. Funny enough, I saw R&B this weekend, and he was like, "Dude, you got to play TFT." I'm like, "All right, fine. I'll play some TFT."
If you like card games, I think TFT's not bad. You can kind of deep dive into it and do whatever, like go really deep and then do that, or you just play, casual quick play, and it's fun for a good 30 minutes on your phone, and that's the only reason I mostly play, is because it's just like easy to do while multitasking. If I'm watching TV with my buddy, chit-chatting with the group, watching a couple of them play webcam games, I can like play on my phone or on the computer, just like Tomas was talking about, like he plays that in the lounge while they're gaming. Another thing. Where can we find you, Gabe?
You can find me also on Twitter at IllGabe, ILL. That can stand for either Illuminati, which is the team I'm a part of, or Illumineer, because I'm also that. So it's kind of the same thing. That's why the name of the team was so cool. So IllGabe, you can find me there. I tweet sometimes, mostly infrequently, but usually when I do tweet, it's there.
Gold.
It's gold and it's funny stuff and it's great
mean-
stuff. And
Worth
yeah,
reposting me.
yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say like I don't want to talk any negative, but Tamaz here is probably the best tweeter out of the three of
Oh.
us.
I would agree. Yeah, 100%. You can also find me. I don't know if this has officially been announced, but I'm going to say it now. So this is an exclusive for y'all. I will also be casting PPG, the summit happening very soon. So you'll see me there too. It'll be a lot of fun. Yep, I'll be there hanging out. So come check us out there too. But yeah, if you want to talk to me, come find me on Twitter, IlGabe.
Well, it should be a blast. We're gonna start a raid. We're gonna go check out first to 20.
Hey, I
wasn't
know
that
him.
Wasn't that Skinner's name?
That's Skinner. Yeah.
But is this his Discord? Is this his thing?
No, that's somebody else. That's somebody else named First to 20.
Yeah, I don't think that's Skinner.
Oh, you know what? He's not. He's rifting now. He's in the
Yeah.
Nexus. He doesn't deserve that name anymore.
He shouldn't have. He shouldn't have swapped over. He lost his name. All right, but everyone, you have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow night. And I do believe I had it posted. I knew exactly who we were gonna watch. And then my brain turned off. Like literally, I'm like, "Who are we gonna watch?" Look at it, okay, and then look away. It's like, do you ever walk through a doorway and completely forget why you went into that room?
Yes. Yeah,
every day.
Every time.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. We're watching Triad versus the Salty Ducks, and you might know some of the
Ooh.
Triad players as they're from, well, Illuminati, Freedom Gaming, previous players from Southside Gaming and Restand, and they kind of took all the Florida players. They're like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Super Florida
Yeah.
team.
It is a Florida team. I'm rooting for them.
All right, but we'll see you tomorrow night. You have a great night.